The law firm. We're partners committed to you, your business, and your community. From family law to litigation, we're ready to serve. Visit SandbergPhoenix.com. The choice of a lawyer is an important decision and should not be based solely on advertising.
Okay, 3, 2, 1, hit it.
Chris Ranji, Amy, Mark Scores. The Chris and Amy Show.
You know who it is.
Also, if you didn't know, this is called the show.
Yeah. On 104.1 FM, KMOX.
Never throw anything away. This is why everybody should be a hoarder. It's Chris and Amy on KMOX. We were just talking about something that was a really valuable piece of audio that we cannot play for you. But
we can't play it because we throwed it away.
We throwed it away. It was a really funny bit, and I'm disappointed that I will not get to hear it.
But I'll just say this to close up our little side note. Everyone should be grateful for Michael Calhoun, who does have a file of great moments in KMOX history.
The man saves everything.
He does.
314-436-7900 to join the show by texting and calling. You can watch it on Facebook, YouTube, and Twitter. We are at Chris Amy KMOX. And of course, we'd like for you to download the Odyssey app. It is free. You can leave voice messages to us or to the station, whatever you want to say. You can record a voice message and send it, but you can also listen live and listen to podcasts. You can listen to Cardinals baseball when the season gets started here in just a few weeks.
Time now for the top of the order. The top 3 stories everyone will be talking about.
Former Prince Andrew has been arrested in England.
Oh.
Yeah, on suspicion of misconduct. Oh, I wonder what that means.
Also, Boeing Defense, Space, and Security, their headquarters returns to where it should be, right here in St. Louis.
Well, how about that? Lars Nootbaar did make it to Cardinals spring training. He's dealing with an injury. Don't know yet if he will be ready for the start of the season. And U.S. hockey, the men's team, defeated Sweden 2-1. Canada won. They came back and won, so Amy's happy. So
Yes.
that happened. The women's team today, right? They're playing for gold?
They are against Team Canada. They beat Team Canada in the preliminary round 5-0. Don't expect that because Canada is not going to forget that. But man, oh man, we should be high on the women's Team USA.
Yeah.
Holy cow. Abby Murphy leads the NCAA in scoring and in penalty minutes. Something no NHLer has ever done. She is a unicorn.
Well, Amy, let me tell you something. I cannot get enough of this Prince Andrew story. Former Prince Andrew. Prince Andrew Mountbatten Windsor, which is a fantastic name.
The Andrew formerly known as Prince.
I do not know why I love this story so
much.
much.
You shouldn't love it.
I love it. I don't love the fact that he's in the Epstein files.
Yeah, you should never love anything.
That he's, accused and probably did some really improper and awful stuff with underage girls. But the fact that he's been arrested and that this is the first royal arrest in England since Charles I in 1647.
I know.
It's almost 400 years.
So to put it in perspective.
I love that it happened to this man. I love it.
Yes. After the last royal arrest, okay? After the last royal arrest, Oliver Cromwell took over the Commonwealth of England. Oh. Oliver Cromwell in 1649. So to Ranji's point, how royal arrests, you know what? They used to happen a lot. A whole lot. England, Scotland, Ireland, a lot of royal arrests. Well, as the CBC notes, King Charles I was tried for treason. He was arrested in 1647, tried for treason in 1649 at the end of the English Civil War, was found guilty and beheaded. Andrew's elder sister, Princess Anne, was fined for speeding in 2001.
So that was the next infraction.
I think so.
I do not believe former Prince Andrew will be beheaded. I don't think that's still a punishment.
We don't know, though. They've never had an opportunity to ask, is this law still in the books?
You know what? I'm okay with it if they do. And I'm anti Death
Beheading?
penalty.
Oh, you are anti-death penalty.
But for some reason, this one really does it for me.
Ranj.
It's
Okay.
totally.
You need to be careful
now,
what you're saying here.
Now, so he is being, he's been arrested on suspicion of wrongdoing, but it's not about the Epstein files.
Mhm.
It's about the fact that they believe he shared confidential information with Jeffrey Epstein about, country secrets, right? State secrets sort of things. It's not about what he did. This does, though, kind of have the feel of Al Capone, right? Where they don't have explicit, hard evidence that he did what he did, murdering people.
Uh-huh.
So they got him on tax evasion. Like they just wanted to get him. It kind of feels that way to me. Like they know he should be in prison. They know something that he should be punished for a terrible thing that he did, or many terrible things he did. They couldn't prove it, but they could prove this other stuff. That's kind of the way it feels to me. I know it's not exactly the same, but there's a similarity there. And you know what? I'm all for it. If you belong in jail, then damn it, you should be in jail. However, by any means necessary.
Yeah. Well, his former wife, Andrew's former wife, Sarah Ferguson, was also in the Epstein files, and 6 companies linked to her were shut down because of the latest release of files related to Jeffrey Epstein and the flirty emails that she was sending to him, and who knows what her connection is. But you're right. So Andrew was stripped of his royal titles because of the Epstein files.
Yeah, that's been a while now.
That's been a while. Now he's being arrested because of misconduct while in office. And it seems that Sarah Ferguson, his ex-wife, was just as involved, or maybe in different ways, I'm not sure. But they don't have the misconduct charge against her, so she's still footloose and fancy-free for a while. So it does, in that sense, feel very Al Capone. I also feel like, you know how the billionaires all protect each other?
Mhm.
We're seeing that. I feel like that doesn't necessarily apply to the royal family. I feel like they're a little bit more open
Oh, yeah, and I don't. Well,
to toss in someone out there.
well, it seems to me the royal family needs billionaires more than billionaires need them.
Well, I don't know, though, because the royal family, they get their money from the tax dollars, from the English people. I don't think they need billionaires.
I don't know. I think they do. To conduct business worldwide, they probably do. At any rate, I'm happy that a person who is in a position, or was in a position of immense power, is now being punished, because this is the way we should treat anybody who is in that position, who usually can find a way to pay their way out of it somehow by getting better attorneys and, or having friends in the right places.
Mhm.
It's nice to see that this is being done and they are being held to account. We don't have enough of that. We don't have enough of people with all of this influence and power, or all of this influence and wealth. We don't have enough of them being held to account, not just here in the United States, but in many of the other Western countries, actually all over the world. It just doesn't happen. So it's refreshing to see it happen. And I don't know what the end result is going to be, but the fact he was arrested, great. I love it. I love everything about that.
Yeah, Prince Andrew has always been kind of... Was he the schmuck before all of this? Because I do feel like the royal family did not hesitate to start cutting ties with him as soon as things started getting questionable. Do you remember? I feel like, well, this is real. I knew Andrew was in trouble when the Queen removed him from their family Christmas card. Do you remember that years ago?
I do not.
I think it was on a late night show, but he was not in the family Christmas card. And so, yes, it feels a bit bizarre to see someone actually facing some consequences, but also a little bit, is it discouraging that they had to get him the Al Capone tax evasion way and they couldn't just get him on the salacious Epstein stuff? Because you're not going to be able to get all these people who are in the Epstein files for doing horrific things with children. You're not going to be able to get them all on tax evasion, or the equivalent.
No, I agree with you. And I think that in this case, anybody who's in those files, who where there is proof that they have done something wrong, all of them should be punished. I don't care who you are. I don't care what your political party is. Listen to me. I do not care. I don't care. I don't care if it's somebody I voted for or somebody I did not vote for. They all deserve punishment. All of them. And what is disconcerting to me is that I know the vast majority of them are going to get away with it. And nothing's going to come of it. There will be no punishment for it. So, however they have to do it, if they can't, I guess in a way, how in New York, there was a lot of, with the Donald Trump case in New York, there were a lot of people who believe that should not have been pursued.
The Alvin Bragg one?
Yes. That had the feel of the state of New York for years and years and years before Donald Trump was president, tried to get him on something. They desperately wanted to get him on something because they know he did some things wrong, but they just couldn't pin it on him. So they went hard on this case, which may not have been the right thing to do. It was like, we got to get him on something. Okay, let's go through with this. It kind of has that sort of feel that I wonder if, and I'm not saying that's what's going on with Andrew, but I am okay with the idea of, if they can't get people on the Epstein stuff, if they can get them on something else just to make sure these people end up in prison, then I'm all for that. You know what I mean? It's almost, I have this any means necessary kind of feel about this.
I know why, yes, that you would definitely feel that way. I do think you have to be a bit careful. Obviously, with Al Capone and getting him on tax evasion, I think nobody has an issue with that. With Andrew and the misconduct in office, here's the thing. It's a tough charge to prove. They may hold him for 24, 36, 48 hours, but if they can't levy charges sufficient enough to keep him, then he's not going to be arrested. I mean, arrested. He's not going to be imprisoned. He's been arrested, but it doesn't mean he's going to be imprisoned. Right. It doesn't mean the charges are going to hold up. And with Donald Trump, obviously we know the indictments, but the Alvin Bragg issue, which is different because these are two different issues, and the president has other things that he's dealing with as far as potential prosecutions. When he had several legit cases against him being the president, especially the classified documents at Mar-a-Lago, you have a circuit attorney, prosecuting attorney in Alvin Bragg, who ran on, I'm going to go after Trump, which feels very political. And you got to be super careful with that in the justice system. And then Alvin Bragg went forward with what was, I would say, objectively the weakest case.
Of course.
And then that just gives psychological permission to say, hey, it's a witch hunt, because Alvin Bragg said from the get-go he was going after Trump. Because I said I would be upset if I were prosecutors in the other cases that Alvin Bragg went forward with this. That's why I just want to clarify that I do think that is different. And you do have to be careful when you have people running for office saying, I'm running for office to go after this guy.
No, I would agree with that. But if you have defrauded people for decades and nothing has ever been pinned on you, I do understand the instinct to want to go after them on something and finally get them on something. Because there has been story after story after story about how he did that in his business life prior to running for office and winning. Mm-hmm. So it is a different situation. I understand that, but I am so happy that at least for now, a powerful person is being held to account. And that's the way it should be here with all of the Epstein people. Anybody in those files that we know has done something wrong, they should all be held to account. Amy Mark scores Chris Ranji. You can join the show by texting and calling 314-436-7900. We talked measles yesterday because they made their way to St. Louis, and we will talk more about that at 9:30 with Candace DeMatteis, or DeMatteis is how it's pronounced. She is the Vice President of Policy and Advocacy with the Partnership to Fight Infectious Disease. We will talk to her about the measles outbreak, what's next, and what we can do about it. That's at 9:30, coming up here on the Chris and Amy Show on KMOX.
Zach Bryan,
with Heaven on Tour.
Poison myself again. Something in the orange tells me you'll never
Saturday,
call me
March
your
7th, the Dome at America's Center.
Wish I didn't, but I do.
With special guests, Camp and J.R. Carroll. Tickets are on sale now at ZachBryan.com.
I think I heard you coming.
Don't miss Zach Bryan live.
Race car drivers like NASCAR champion Jesse Love are a lot like commercial drivers, pros, but even the best watch the tape to see what they missed and get better next time. The Samsara driving coach does the same for your fleet, giving drivers real-time feedback to build safer habits. Samsara's AI uses billions of miles of real driving data to help fleets prevent accidents and protect drivers.
If it makes me a better driver, it'll make your fleet unstoppable.
Because even champions need a coach. Learn more at Samsara.com.
Hi, I'm Dr. Mary Claire Haver, a board-certified OBGYN and menopause specialist. My new podcast, Unpaused, is the place for bold, unfiltered conversations about what it really takes for women to thrive in the second half of life. Every week, I sit down with medical experts, cultural icons, and powerhouse women to talk about what really matters. New episodes drop every Tuesday. Listen to and follow Unpaused with me, Dr. Mary Claire Haver, available now wherever you get your podcasts.
Time is valuable. That's why Lowe's Blueprint Takeoffs turn blueprints into quotes faster. Bring us your plans, and we'll generate itemized material lists to make quoting easier so you can get back to building. Plus, at the Lowe's Pro Desk, you get access to thousands of building materials not sold in store. And when your order's ready, we'll deliver everything to the job site. Improving is easy at Lowe's.
It all comes down to this, folks.
Yep, the entire season is on the line.
But my throat has officially thrown in the towel.
Sounds like you need Vicks VapoCool drops. They're max strength and vaporize sore throat pain.
Whoa! These VapoCool drops hit fast.
Speaking of fast, did you just see that play?
Yeah, he vaporized that ball.
That pun should have come with a penalty.
Vaporize sore throat pain with Vicks VapoCool drops. Use as directed.
Wesley is a truck driver.
I drive a truck and I love what I do.
A truck driver with IRS troubles.
They told me I owed them $43,000.
It got really bad.
Quite a few letters in the mail. They were talking about wage garnishment coming after my house, my car. Yeah, they don't play around. I seriously thought that I was going to lose everything.
One sleepless night, Wesley finally made a call to Optima Tax Relief at 2 a.m.
Kind of figured I'd get a machine, but I didn't. I actually got to talk to an actual person in the middle of the night.
He found just what he was looking for.
Oh, they were great people. You need a team of people that know what they're doing. Optima Tax, they know what they're doing.
Optima Tax Relief came through with flying colors.
I saved an incredible amount of money. Happy don't even come close. I was absolutely overjoyed.
Take Wesley's advice.
If you're in any kind of trouble with the IRS, call Optima Tax Relief. Don't trust anybody else.
Call Optima for a free consultation. Call 800-348-0269. 800-348-0269. 800-348-0269.
Optima Tax Relief.
Some restrictions apply. For complete details, please visit OptimaTaxRelief.com.
Join Mark Patrick Hypnosis. Lose the weight or stop smoking. Guaranteed only $59.99. Saturday, March 7th at the Residence Inn by Marriott, St. Louis Westport in St. Louis. Weight loss hypnosis starts at 11 a.m. Registration at 10:30 a.m. Stop smoking starts at 2 p.m. Registration 1:30 p.m.
Barnes Jewish Hospital and WashU Medicine physicians have long been leaders in heart and vascular care. Now, we're taking the patient experience to another level by opening our new state-of-the-art patient tower, designed specifically with heart patients in mind. By combining the latest technology with thoughtful design and private rooms, heart patients can experience faster healing, reduce stress, and improved outcomes. Learn more at barnesjewish.org/heart.
One city, one voice. KMOX, the voice of St. Louis.
Now Quinn Hughes. We played 3.5 minutes in overtime. Quinn Hughes shoots. He scores! He scores! Quinn Hughes in overtime wins it. And the United States will move on and face Slovakia.
Next goal wins winner on to the semifinals. Knifing through, they score! Mitch Marner delivers Canada into the semis.
The boys did it. The boys did it. The North American boys, both of them.
You were distraught over Canada trailing yesterday.
I was.
You're like, this is terrible. I feel sick. Like, you do?
You go, you do? Why? And I said, because I'm patriotic. And Matt said, for Canada? For who?
What is
I
it?
forgot. I got so wrapped into it. It feels, listen, I really, really like Team Canada. I think Sidney Crosby might be my favorite player of all time. Rooting so hard for Jordan Binnington. Love Jordan Binnington. Obviously, Colton Parayko. There's so many likable guys on Team Canada. And the Canadians, I love the Canadians. And it means the weight that they carry. Team Canada to play for Team Canada. So, yeah, I forgot momentarily where I was. Also, Team USA. Now, that game hadn't started yet when I left work. I was getting real nervous. I was equally sad. I almost died twice yesterday.
You did?
Of nerves, because both Canada and the United States went to overtime. So Quinn Hughes scored the winning goal for Team USA in their win over Sweden. But Jack Hughes was the one who got their, he took the shot on the first goal and Dylan Larkin tipped it in. But the Hughes brothers were huge yesterday in Team USA's win. Sidney Crosby had to leave the game early because he was hurt.
Yeah.
And he did speak to the team in the locker room. He's like, go get it, boys. And they said Team Canada knew we are not going to let this be Sidney Crosby's last game. Like, we're not going to lose to Czechia and have Sidney Crosby be injured and lose in his last game in the Olympics.
Yeah. If I'm a Penguins fan, though,
yeah, you're mad.
I'm pretty pissed off right now. Like, and especially considering it wasn't even for the country that you probably root for him from, right?
And I don't know what the update is. I don't know.
Yeah,
what the
if it is a significant injury, this is the reason why. Yeah, it's cool that you've got the NHL stars in the Olympics, and it would be cool if the United States wins. I'm here to tell you that for me, I will take a Blues Stanley Cup 10 times out of 10 over a U.S. Olympic gold medal.
So here's the
10 times out of 10 without hesitation.
The LA Kings, going back to the NHL, the LA Kings are currently they're fighting for a playoff spot right now. And Kevin Fiala was their star, one of their, if not their best player. And they made a move right before the Olympics to get Artemi Panarin and say, we're making our move. We're going to get this goal scorer, pair him with Kevin Fiala. We're going to make a run for the playoffs. Kevin Fiala in the Olympics snapped his leg in half. He's out for the season.
Yeah. See what I'm talking about?
And then a few years ago,
it's I feel the same way for and about, like, okay, the World Baseball Classic, the last time it happened a few years ago, there was an exciting final, and that was really cool. And I admit that it was cool. However, I don't really like my guys on my team going and participating and going all out, unlike the way they would do it during a spring training game, trying to get ready for a season. And this is what they call high leverage. Those games, World Baseball Classic, they become high leverage games where guys are not just getting their work in. They're trying really hard.
Yeah.
Might be throwing a little harder, might be running a little harder on the base paths, especially if you're a veteran, right? Because if you're a veteran and you've got your spot on the roster, you don't have to worry about losing it. You're taking it a little easy during spring training. You're not going all out because you're just getting yourself ready for opening day. Here, when it's the World Baseball Classic, you are going, you're all the way to the wall. And I like it, but I don't like it because I don't like my guys putting themselves in position to get hurt. And if I am a Sidney Crosby fan, I'm pretty mad today.
But you're mad at the Players Association because, see, the owners didn't want this. The owners,
no, of course they don't, because
don't
they want their guys in-house until the season is over.
That's right. So this was something the NHLPA had pushed for, and the owners didn't want it because the last Olympics in 2014, John Tavares, who was the captain of the New York Islanders, he's leading the team, and he got hurt and he was out for the rest of the season at a really, you're talking going into the playoffs. Teams are making their playoff push. So I do get it for sure. I don't know what Sidney Crosby's status is yet, injury wise. Do want to note, you know Skip Bayless, you like him?
No, but go ahead.
He tweeted, "We win in overtime," all caps. USA beats Sweden in Olympic hockey. 3-on-3 is much more fun to watch. More open ice, more one-on-one shots on goal, less lucky bounce high traffic goals in front of net. Listening, NHL? And of course, he got absolutely blasted.
Yeah.
Because the NHL's been doing this for 10 years.
No, is he trying to say that they should do... Oh, okay.
Yeah.
I thought the way, when you read it to me, the way I thought he was saying is they should be 3-on-3 all the time. Yeah.
And if he did mean that, he didn't clarify because he's getting blasted with everyone saying, hey, the NHL did this before the Olympics. The NHL has had 3-on-3 overtime for 10 years.
Yes. I mean, that's been going on.
Yeah.
And I like it.
Yeah.
Although it's the kind of thing that, you don't want to give up the puck like at all, because if you do, you may not get it back.
Yeah.
But it is fun. I think it's really, it's enjoyable to watch. It's not enjoyable. Measles. Candace DeMatteis. I'm going to do it.
Come on.
Every time.
Get it together, boys.
I have a friend named DeMatteis, so I have a friend named DeMatteis and DeMatteo. How about that? This is very confusing for me. Candace DeMatteis is the Vice President of Policy and Advocacy with the Partnership to Fight Infectious Disease, PFID. And Candace will join us next on KMOX.
Hey guys, it's Dave from The Glover Show, trying to explain The Glover Show. So when I was a younger man, I used to go to happy hour almost every night, and I loved it. And I've always thought of my show as being like happy hour. What's he gonna talk about? It's always interesting. It's often silly, but not always. There are real things to talk about. I am amongst friends, politics, and personal things. So that's what it is, really. It's happy hour for thousands of us every day between 1 p.m. and 5 p.m. And I hope you'll tune in and join the happy hour.
Now, KMOX weather from the Saliga Heating and Cooling Weather Desk.
It is 57 degrees and cloudy. Did you get stuck in that fog this morning? Well, it's clearing up a little bit. Mostly cloudy and warm. A couple of thunderstorms into the early afternoon. The thunderstorms could bring hail and damaging winds. A high today of 68. Tonight, mainly clear, breezy, bit colder, a low of 34. Weather sponsored by the U.S. Air Force Band of Mid-America Free Concerts.
Don't miss the U.S. Air Force's Shades of Blue Jazz Ensemble, February 25th through March 4th. Enjoy big band swing, patriotic favorites, and more. Get free tickets and locations at afbandtix.org. That's afbandtix.org.
It's time for a $98 furnace tune-up.
Santana, Oneness Tour 2026. The power, the energy. Come celebrate your favorite hits from Woodstock to Supernatural and beyond. With very special guest, the Doobie Brothers. Saturday, June 20th, Hollywood Casino Amphitheater. On sale Friday, 10 a.m. at livenation.com. Santana and Doobie Brothers, Oneness Tour 2026.
St. Louis has a voice.
KMOX, the voice of St. Louis.
That voice has shared our stories from headline to history.
In afternoon programming for American radio. The program is called At Your Service.
Among those voices, Mike Kelly.
Kaufman at the 11. Kaufman hurdles a man at the 5, fighting for the end zone. Touchdown, Missouri.
Working at KMOX is an honor and a responsibility to represent this community. It's one we take seriously. KMOX, the voice of St. Louis.
Meet Linda. She's stuck in a school pickup line, thinking about what to make for dinner. Are the kids' practice jerseys clean? If she sent out that last email before leaving work. But you know what she's not thinking about? Her HVAC system. Linda is a preferred partner with Air Comfort Service Heating, Cooling, and Installation. Members get 2 HVAC system checks per year. We clean and inspect your HVAC systems at each visit. Partners also get priority service and exclusive discounts starting at just $19 per month. Life is chaos, but with Air Comfort Service, you'll have peace of mind with your HVAC system. Visit aircomfortservice.com today. After all, comfort is our middle name.
Do you owe $10,000 or more in credit card debt or personal loans? With credit card debt at all-time highs, Debt Relief Advocates is urgently notifying consumers of debt relief now being made available, designed to aid consumers with out-of-control credit card debt. Those who qualify and enroll for this relief program may only have to pay back a fraction of what they owe. This is not bankruptcy or a debt consolidation loan. This is a relief program that credit card companies would rather you not know about, as it could end your debt nightmare and save you lots of money. Consumers owing at least $10,000 in credit card debt or personal loans can now take advantage of this debt relief as the cost of living skyrockets. For free information and to learn what debt reduction you may qualify for, simply go online and visit DRA.com or call 800-535-1582. 800-535-1582. Again, that's 800-535-1582.
In stock, on the lot, and ready to move. At Seidenstricker Nobe Partners, we have hot deals on select 1 through 4 Series John Deere compact tractors. Get 0% financing for 72 months, plus limited time savings on select compact tractors. Built for hauling, digging, grading, mowing, and anything in between. These deals are hot and they won't last long. Visit SNPartners.com. Seidenstricker Nobe, your partner for the land.
Offer valid through 2/28/2026. Some restrictions apply. See dealer for details.
This is the Gas House Gang from KMOX.
Bernie Nicholas and the Gas House Gang, today at noon on America's Sports Voice, KMOX.
We discussed the measles outbreak here. Well, is it an outbreak yet? We don't know. We know there was exposure. We know there was somebody who flew into Lambert International Airport and over to a church in Collinsville and notified the health department, I suppose, that they've got measles. So that means a bunch of people have been exposed here. To talk about how this happened, what happens next, and everything in between, Candace DeMatteis is the Vice President of Policy and Advocacy with the Partnership to Fight Infectious Disease, the PFID. And Candace joins us now on KMOX. Good morning, Candace. Thank you for being with us.
Good morning. Thanks so much for having me.
So how does this happen? Why are we here right now where a disease that was eradicated is now back?
Well, measles is one of the most infectious pathogens that affects people and continues to circulate in around different parts of the world. Although we had eliminated measles, which meant no, circulation on a regular basis in the U.S. for more than 25 years. So it was in 2000 that we achieved that elimination status. Unfortunately, we've gotten a little complacent and measles continues to circulate. And without high vaccination rates, we're seeing these outbreaks.
Now, I know with measles, a lot of us have been vaccinated. And I was talking to my family. Like, this is how it went down in my house. I, of course, like every millennial, checked with my mom. Hey, wait, I got all these, right? She's like, yes, you got your MMR. And because she was born before 71, she was vaccinated for measles, I think, when she was pregnant with my older sister. And my dad, who was born before 71, I think he had measles when he was younger. So if you're a family like mine, right, where you got vaccinated as an adult or a kid, or you had measles as a kid, should you consider yourself fairly safe?
Yes, you are well protected. There is a vaccine that was used before the more modern MMR vaccine that may have a little waning immunity. So for people, in that age cohort, that might include your parents, for example, or your mom, they can get a blood test just to make sure they have higher levels, that they're maintaining their immunity. But otherwise, if you're vaccinated, if you've had measles, you can consider yourself safe.
So the reason we are in this position now is there has been a lot of vaccine doubt that has been sowed by people in positions of influence, not just politicians, but, you also have influencers. You have people who have podcasts and wellness people who are talking the public out of being vaccinated. There's recent polling that suggests 78% of people think that political influence is part of the reason we are here. How true is that?
Well, there is a lot of concerns, and medical experts are saying you see disagreement today between medical experts such as the American Academy of Pediatrics and what the federal government, for example, is recommending in terms of childhood vaccines. And so there is some disconnect there, and that is, the changes are creating confusion, and voters are saying that they're worried that political influence is affecting decision-making around medical recommendations and that should be scientifically based and not politically based. So there are concerns being raised there, and legitimately so.
When you do look at the numbers across the aisles, 89% of Americans say vaccines are essential for public health. 93% agree that vaccines should be available, accessible, and affordable for all. And 92% want policymakers to ensure continued access and insurance coverage for vaccines. So those numbers seem really high. It seems like a good thing. But I'm also taking that it doesn't take many people not getting a vaccine for it to start to affect the public, or maybe like babies who can't get vaccinated yet.
You're absolutely right, especially for an illness like that's related to the measles virus. Some vaccines the diseases are less prevalent. You don't need 95% of people vaccinated, which is what we need for measles to really stop the outbreak. So although across the U.S., the average is about 92.5% in terms of kindergartners vaccinated against measles, mumps, and rubella, that is 95% is what public health experts say we need to achieve to stop the spread of measles. And sadly, we've fallen below that in some parts of the country, well below that. And that's where you're seeing these massive outbreaks, like in upstate South Carolina, borders between Arizona and Utah, and then also in South Texas.
So what does this particular outbreak in St. Louis, what does this say about what's happening with the disease and how concerned we should be as a country that it is more prevalent than ever? Well, than in recent decades.
Well, the exposure in St. Louis highlights a couple of things. One is this virus can be spread by people who don't even realize they're ill. If you are exposed and unvaccinated, the quarantine period to make sure you haven't gotten measles is 21 days. So that's because it can take a while to manifest. You are contagious before you realize that you have it. You're contagious for a while you have symptoms. So that's why it's such a long incubation period and quarantine period required to make sure that you aren't infected and you're not out spreading it either. The safest way to protect yourself against getting measles is to vaccinate yourself. 2 doses of the MMR vaccine, 97% at preventing you from getting measles. The vaccine's been around for over 50 years. Hundreds of millions of people have taken it. Very strong safety record, high efficacy. So it's not one that people need to be concerned about getting.
I was reading a story in the Texas Tribune about the Texas outbreak that was so heavily covered. And please correct me if I'm wrong here, but my understanding is that much of the outbreak stemmed from a Mennonite community where people were not vaccinated. And I was wondering if we have data on what, the communities of where some of these big outbreaks are starting. Is it like a more religious community where they're not doing vaccines? Is it random one-offs, where someone is exposed and then spreads it?
It really, and if you think about it, think about it from the virus's perspective. The virus doesn't care if you're religious or not. It doesn't care if you vote, if you're eligible to vote, if who you voted for. It's just looking for a host that's vulnerable. Its only job is to infect, replicate, and spread. And that's what it's doing. So it just looks for vulnerable populations. That could be children too young to be vaccinated, could be someone undergoing cancer treatment where their immune system is suppressed to help the cancer therapy work. And so it's not just vaccination doesn't just protect yourselves, but it creates a shield around those who are vulnerable, who need protection and aren't eligible to be vaccinated. But it's important when you think about, I'm not part of one of those communities that's being affected. If you're unvaccinated, you're vulnerable. And that's the reality of it. That's how the virus looks at it. And that's the way you have to approach it.
So there will be people, and were during COVID, and that still exists now, who say, well, I've been vaccinated, or I know somebody who was vaccinated and still got sick. And we know all vaccines are different for different diseases. There's different levels of effectiveness. So what do you say to somebody who says, yeah, I can get vaccinated, but that doesn't guarantee that I won't get sick?
I would say you're right for a vast majority of vaccines. Some of them aren't designed necessarily. They do prevent illness, but they may not. Their major goal, like for influenza, for example, that's one that people often say, well, I was vaccinated, I still got the flu. It doesn't have as much effect in terms of preventing illness as a vaccine like measles does. 97% won't get measles who are fully vaccinated. But there's still 3%, that vulnerability for measles, for example. For flu, it's more like 40 or 50%, depending on the year. But it does reduce the severity of illness. So there are still benefits to getting vaccinated where you won't get as sick, you won't have the longer term consequences from becoming sick, as well as getting that protection of not getting sick at all.
Okay, last thing for you before we say goodbye. So aside from being vaccinated as a country, what can we do to stem this tide of the measles outbreaks that are relatively new now?
Well, a lot of it is just staying informed, talking to your healthcare provider. Am I safe? What can I do to protect myself? Good hygiene is always appropriate when you're talking about infectious illnesses. Measles is a tough one just because it can linger in the air for up to 2 hours after the person leaves the area. So, you're like, well, I didn't see anybody coughing or sneezing. That's not necessarily going to protect you against measles. But there are a number of other illnesses that you can, respiratory and otherwise, where good hygiene, perhaps wearing a mask if you're particularly concerned you're in a busy area like an airport or, an airport shuttle or things like that where it's close quarters where you have concerns. So there are other things you can do to protect yourself as well as getting vaccinated.
Candace DeMatteis, we appreciate your time and the information. Thank you.
Thank you so much.
Candace with the Partnership to Fight Infectious Disease with us here on KMOX.
And we were talking about the measles exposure of the person who traveled at Lambert, Terminal 2, took parking spot number 3, and then also attended a church in Collinsville, that it was a Metro East person who had measles. Well, the Illinois Department of Public Health yesterday confirmed a second case of measles in the Metro East. And so the department's website, so the Illinois Department of Public Health, on their website, they have new locations where people may have been exposed. This includes the YMCA Meyer Center, Schnucks on Troy Road, Edwardsville, Walmart, Junction Drive, Glen Carbon, Discount Tire in Glen Carbon, and so forth. So there are a few places listed, and that is on the Illinois Department of Public Health.
Well, that's not great. Get your vaccines, folks. Amy Marks Core's Chris Ranji, Did You See This? Is next on KMOX.
My name is Whitney Allen, and I'm a widow. After my husband died, the last thing I wanted to think about was money. Ethos made it affordable to get life insurance. Signing up was fast and 100% online. I knew that I could pay our mortgage and have food in the fridge. I could focus on my kids. No one ever tells you how much you're going to depend on that policy. I am so grateful we had coverage.
Get your free quote at ethos.com/save. That's ethos.com/save. Paid spokesperson. Time spent on application may vary. Online health questions required.
Wesley Financial Group is not a law firm.
Chuck McDowell here again. Over the years, I've seen way too many timeshare exit companies pop up, take folks' money, and disappear. I just saw an ad from an exit company started by a couple of bozos that used to work for me. My advice, don't hire bozos I fire. Want out of your timeshare? I'll send you our free timeshare exit info kit explaining your options for cancellation.
Call Wesley for your free kit. 800-329-3737. That's 800-329-3737.
Every spring brings promises, and every spring delivers surprises. This year, the Cardinals are writing a new story, and there'll be plenty plenty of surprises. Matt Pauley is in Jupiter with inside access to Camp Cardinals.
Presented by St. Louis Composting. Composting, growing gardens and making memories. And Happy Roof. We always create happy endings.
From breakout performances to roster revelations, get reports throughout the day on the voice of the Cardinals. KMOX.
I'm Ultima Morgan of Morgan & Morgan. Every time one of my children started driving, it was terrifying. Thousands of accidents happen across the country. We see it every day. If you've been injured in a car accident, call us.
Dial pound law or visit forthepeople.com for an office near you.
With the new IHOP value menu, $6 is all it takes to go to your happy place, where stacks of pancakes with bacon and eggs are just $6 every day. French toast, sausage, and eggs are, you guessed it, $6. And fluffy omelets come with a side of pancakes and only cost $6. Go to your happy plates every day at IHOP. $7 in some locations. Available every day for a limited time at participating restaurants in the U.S. Hours may vary. No substitutions. Not valid with other discounts or promotions. Prices may vary.
If you're struggling with weight and frustrated with dieting each and every year, Mark Patrick Hypnosis can help. Join the over 500,000 people who have attended Mark Patrick Hypnosis with great weight loss results. Mark Patrick Hypnosis will be in St. Louis on Saturday, March 7th.
Totally changed my life.
It's amazing. I don't have any cravings. You want to quit, but have found it impossible? This is the thing for you. I have absolutely no craving. It's the darndest thing I have ever seen in my life.
It's not for entertainment. It's for results.
Do it. It works. Period.
You've tried everything else. You need to come and try this.
After this hypnosis, I want to eat good food.
Since August, I can honestly say I have not had one potato chip.
It was life-changing for me.
And I don't think about dessert.
Only $59.99. Lose all the weight you want. 100% guaranteed. Saturday, March 7th at the Residence Inn by Marriott, St. Louis Westport in St. Louis. Weight loss hypnosis, 11 a.m. Registration, 10:30 a.m. Attend this program and find out how the power of hypnosis can help you achieve your weight loss goals. There's limited seating, so get there early. Learn more at markpatrickseminars.com.
What if every time you spent money, you saved money too? With Achieve It Checking from Together Credit Union, you can do just that. Every debit card purchase is rounded up to the nearest dollar, and the spare change goes right into your savings. And here's the best part. Together Credit Union boosts your progress by matching qualifying savings up to $8 a month. It's a free checking account that helps you achieve more automatically. Learn more, or better yet, enroll today at togethercu.org. Together Credit Union, federally insured by NCUA.
This is the story of the one. As an HVAC technician, he and his digital multimeter are in high demand. So when a noisy office HVAC turns out to be a failing blower motor, he doesn't break a sweat. With Grainger's easy-to-use website and product information, he selects the product he needs to keep everything humming right along. Call 1-800-GRAINGER, click Grainger.com, or just stop by. Grainger, for the ones who get it done.
You're still grooving, still connecting, still loving, still turning up, still thriving. You still got it, but your immune system, it weakens as you age. That's where vaccines come in. They help train and strengthen your immune response to fight off respiratory illnesses like flu, pneumococcal pneumonia, RSV, or COVID-19. Ask your doctor or pharmacist which vaccines you need. Book in minutes at VaxAssist.com. Sponsored by Pfizer.
The Chris and Amy Show on 104.1 FM KMOX and the free Odyssey app. Now, did you see this? With Chris and Amy.
We have got a Reese's Pieces scandal, or a Reese's Peanut Butter Cup scandal. Did you hear about it?
I don't know.
So you didn't see this. So the grandson of the inventor of Reese's Peanut Butter Cups is accusing Hershey's of cutting corners. And he's saying that the company, the Hershey Co., is hurting the Reese's brand by shifting to cheaper ingredients in many products. So Hershey acknowledged, yes, they made some recipe changes, but they said that they did it while trying to meet consumer demand for innovation. Hershey also said high cocoa prices have led them and other manufacturers to experiment with using less chocolate in recent years. But the grandson, Brad Reese, that's his name. He's the Reese of Reese's Pieces.
This amazes you?
Yeah, I thought it was just, I don't know. He's 70 years old.
Oh.
He said in a February 14th letter, Valentine's Day, right, to Hershey's corporate brand, that the company replaced milk chocolate with compound coatings and replaced peanut butter with peanut cream. How does the Hershey Co. continue to position Reese's as its flagship brand, a symbol of trust, quality, and leadership, while quietly replacing the very ingredients, milk, chocolate, and peanut butter that built Reese's trust in the first place?
I need you to reread what they said, the reason they made the changes. What was their statement that consumer demand for what? What was it?
I thought it should have just been to meet consumer demand, but it said to meet consumer demand for innovation.
All right. I need these corporate people to just jump off a bridge.
Ron, you know what?
I'm so tired of corporate language like, oh, we're doing this to streamline the process. We're doing this so that consumers are looking for more innovation. You absolute liars. You're doing it because it's cheaper for you. That's why you're doing it.
You're telling me that the last time you ate a peanut butter cup, a Reese's peanut butter cup.
I said they really need to innovate this somehow.
Yes.
The only innovations I ever think about when I eat a Reese's Pieces is what shape can they put this in next?
Well, I think that's
They've
why
done
they
the
use
eggs. They've done the rabbits, I think.
Pumpkins, maybe?
They've done pumpkins. Yes.
Well, I think the shape is
Stop with
innovation. They can't use real chocolate. They have to use compound coatings.
I don't know. I have gotten in the last couple of years
Radicalized.
so irritated with corporate speak more than ever. So when I hear, I've wanted to say a bad word 5-6 times just now.
Careful.
That infuriates me. Consumer demand for innovation. No, you want to save money and you want to put a cheaper product out there. Charge us the same, if not more, so that you can make more money, or your shareholders or whoever is making money off of this can make more money. This is not about innovation. It's not about consumer demand. You're doing it so that you can rip us off.
That's what Brad Reese said. That's what Brad Reese said. He threw out a whole bag of Reese's mini hearts because he said the packaging notes that the heart-shaped candies are made from, quote, chocolate, candy, and peanut butter cream, not milk chocolate and peanut butter. And Reese told the Associated Press in an interview that it was not edible. He said, you have to understand, I used to eat a Reese's product every day. This is very devastating for me. I'm actually really sad about this.
Yeah.
This man is 70 years old. He's got his name on the peanut butter cups and they're ruining it.
At this point, we should be shown the products from major companies that are still in very good quality. Because at this point, almost everything is worse quality and costs more than it was 30 years ago. Everything. So I just need more. Like, there are fewer examples of stuff that has gotten better. So if you have one, let us know.
They have not made refrigerators better. My grandparents had
everything sucks.
A garage fridge that I think went back to the Civil War.
Yeah.
I get it. It's not that old. But the old refrigerators, people who have bought new refrigerators have replaced theirs every 10 years, unless you had one of those old absolute beasts that would run for decades. Make refrigerators good quality again.
Amy, did you see that Costco is facing another lawsuit about the rotisserie chickens? This from USA Today, filed in federal court in Seattle just last week. They point to a study by Farm Forward that criticized safety conditions at Costco's Lincoln Premium Poultry Plant in Nebraska. The study claims the plant consistently fails USDA salmonella safety standards year after year. We're talking about the rotisserie chickens that cost $4.99.
Yeah, those are the sketchy. I don't want to say sketchy. It stresses me out a little bit, and they're too heavy. I don't know how to explain it, but they're too heavy.
They're probably injected with water.
Yeah. And I ate
whatever.
a $12 rotisserie from Whole Foods a couple months ago. And man, they cooked that thing it was almost jerky, unfortunately, by the time I ate it. But it was, I think that chicken, before he was rotisserized, I think he was running around a farm, having fun, living life.
The Whole Foods one?
Mm-hmm.
Wait till that lawsuit comes out where they're not in free range farms.
That's going to make me sad.
We don't know that. I'm just speculating because that's how everything is done now. Hour 2 of the show is next. We will talk Cardinals spring training with Matt Pauley, who will join us from Florida next on KMOX.
Hey guys, Glover here for my friends at Cantor Injury Law. So as you know, I'm a lawyer, haven't practiced in a long time, but I did plaintiff's work and defense work, so I have a pretty good understanding of it. I have a pretty good idea of who's who in the firmament of plaintiffs, attorneys. And for my money, Mark Cantor is the guy. He's a great attorney. He is a great practitioner. He's put together a great team. He was born and raised here. He lives here. He works here. He wins here. Call 314-628-ALL-9s or CantorInjuryLaw.com. The choice of a lawyer is an important decision and should not be based on advertisements.
Years. That's how long Overhead Door Company of St. Louis has been repairing and replacing garage doors. A century of trust in St. Louis. Always look for the iconic red ribbon of Overhead Door Company of St. Louis for same-day repair service and no extra charge for evening or Saturday service. Trust your friends at Overhead Door Company of St. Louis. Schedule online at overheaddoorstlouis.com. That's overheaddoorstlouis.com.
When it comes to planning your retirement, there's a lot to think about. Portfolio management, tax planning, and retirement income just to get started. Steve All and his team at the All Financial Group focus on those things and more. Their goal is to help you achieve your goals. Call 636-230-8824 or online, yourmoneymattersstl.com.
Investment advisory products and services made available through Impact Partnership Wealth, LLC, IPW, a registered investment advisor. Insurance and annuities offered through Steve All, NPN number 153-07419.
This is Joe Cordell of Cordell & Cordell. Cordell & Cordell is the largest family law firm in the country with over 35 years of helping clients navigate divorce. If you or someone you care about is facing a family law issue, let us set up a 1-hour Cordell Consult. The Cordell Consult is a meeting with a local attorney who will give you clear guidance about your options, whether it's a separation, a postnuptial agreement, divorce, or custody. CordellCordell.com.
The choice of a lawyer is an important decision and should not be based solely upon advertisements. 600 Kelwood, St. Louis.
News, talk, cards. KMOX AM St. Louis. KMOX FM Hazelwood. Always live on the free Odyssey app.
Guys, Kevin Wheeler for the FanDuel Sportsbook, the official sportsbook of KMOX, and my official sportsbook now for many, many years. They are the best. Now, if you've ever wanted to go to the NBA Finals, right now, here's your chance, courtesy of FanDuel. Now, all you have to do is use your profit boost on an NBA future, and you'll be entered for a shot to win an NBA Finals trip for 2. So the NBA futures let you lock in your pick for who you think's going to go all the way, whether you're picking a team to win the championship or a conference title. A lot of ways to go. But all you have to do to get started is visit FanDuel.com/Missouri. That's FanDuel.com/Missouri. You get to play your game with FanDuel, official sports betting partner of the NBA. Remember, you must be 21 or older and present in Missouri. No purchase is necessary. Limit one entry for Profit Boost token. An opt-in is required. Must apply Profit Boost token on select market, and restrictions apply as well. See full terms, including methods of entry, at sportsbook.fanduel.com. If you have a gambling problem, call 1-800-GAMBLER.
It is 10 o'clock, and right now in downtown St. Louis, we've got cloudy skies, 58 degrees. I'm Debbie Monterey. Britain's former Prince Andrew has been arrested on suspicion of misconduct in public office following revelations of his ties with Jeffrey Epstein.
Reports began to emerge this morning that police officers had been seen near Mr. Mountbatten Windsor's house on the Sandringham estate in Norfolk. At 10 o'clock, the BBC reported the news of his arrest, and a short time later, Thames Valley Police released a statement saying officers had arrested a man in his 60s on suspicion of misconduct in public office. Today is Mr. Mountbatten Windsor's 66th birthday. Police are currently carrying out searches in Norfolk and the Royal Lodge in Windsor.
That's the BBC's Lucy Manning. Some school districts across the country dropping plans for class pictures after widespread social media posts linked a billionaire with ties to Epstein to the photography giant Lifetouch. The company calls the claims completely false. Raleigh, North Carolina mom Renee Barton doesn't want her son in a class photo this year.
What I'm doing personally as a parent is just opting them out of it. Really disgusting thing that's going on. More and more is coming out every day.
The former CEO of the private equity firm that owns Lifetouch and fellow school portrait company Jostens was named in the latest unsealed Epstein files. On the heels of a major settlement by Bayer over health claims surrounding Roundup, President Trump weighs in with an executive order issued late Wednesday night. Trump calls for more production of glyphosate, the active ingredient that may cause Hodgkin's lymphoma. The order appears to shield companies from certain liability lawsuits. Some supporters of Health Secretary RFK Jr. were not happy, saying they were promised health reform, not chemical entrenchment. But the health secretary, through a spokesperson, says he supports the president compelling companies to produce glyphosate, although he has been very anti-pesticide. St. Louis can be a dangerous place for birds.
St. Louis was the 5th most dangerous during spring migration and the 6th most dangerous during fall.
Matt Barton with the St. Louis Audubon Society says the 2025 BirdSafe STL study of downtown St. Louis and Clayton documented 547 deadly collisions for birds with structures. He says birds generally migrate at night and the bright lights throw them off, which is why the Arch and other major buildings go dark during spring and fall migration periods.
But really, any urban space that has glass or light pollution issues can be a threat to birds.
The building with the most deadly bird strikes, according to the study, Bank of America Plaza on Market Street. From the business desk, a federal panel made up of President Trump's appointees has unanimously approved his plan to build the massive ballroom on the site of the former White House East Wing. The project is scheduled for additional discussion at a March 5th meeting of the National Capital Planning Commission, which is also led by one of Trump's top White House aides, St. Louis' Will Scharf. The National Trust for Historic Preservation has sued in federal court to halt the ballroom construction. A court decision on that case is pending.
Variable cloudiness becoming breezy and warm this afternoon. A thunderstorm or two, any of which can produce hail and damaging winds. The high 68. Increasingly windy and turning colder tonight. Clear early, some cloud late, low 35. Tomorrow, a mix of sun and clouds, breezy, much chillier, high only 47. From the Saliga Heating and Cooling Weather Desk, I'm AccuWeather meteorologist Joe Lundberg on 104.1 FM KMOX.
It's cloudy and 58 degrees. The weather sponsored by Meadowview Memory Care. I'm Debbie Monterey, KMOX News.
Discover Meadowview Memory Care in Arnold, a small, secure community on a beautiful campus. Enjoy peace of mind with all our inclusive rates and comfortable private suites. Schedule your tour today at rspseniorliving.com.
The Chris and Amy Show is video streaming now on KMOX's YouTube, X, and Facebook pages. Click and subscribe.
The pitch on the way. Nootbaar lines it into center, a base hit. That scores Walker, stopping at third. Nathan Church, 1-0 Cardinals.
This is the Chris and Amy Show on KMOX 104.1 FM. Glad you're with us today. Hour 2 of 3. Then the Gas House Gang comes up at 12 o'clock. It'll be Bernie Miklasz and me. We've got plenty to discuss. We'll be checking in with our current guest, Matt Pauley. He's going to join us with updates from spring training in Florida. And we will also be joined by Ricky Prohl today. He's going to be on the show. Yeah, Ricky Prohl, who is the head coach of the Battlehawks. So he's going to be up. Right now, Matt Pauley is with us. Anything cool happening in spring training today other than defensive stuff? I see defensive drills are going on.
Yeah, I mean, that's the early part of the day. We'll get batting practice here in just a little bit and then live BP after that. Just a couple more days to go until our first Grapefruit League game. That's going to be coming up on Saturday here on KMOX. But yeah, I mean, the big part of spring training is just getting all those fundamental type drills worked on. And that's one of the first things that they tend to do every day.
So Lars Nootbaar, he arrived yesterday. What's the situation with him as he's trying to come back from injury?
Yeah, he is not yet cleared medically, but he is at a point now where at his rehab where he was able to get here. There was like this, a weightless or zero weight treadmill that they do not yet have at the facility here. It's going to get here at some point, but it's just part of the process. So he was continuing to go through his rehab work in Southern California where he had access to that. He progressed in his rehab where he no longer needed that. He can now get out and run.
Oh, I believe we've lost Matt Pauley. We have
we haven't lost him.
Well, no, he's not.
He's still with us.
But he's frozen. Oh, there he is. Matt, you froze up for about 10 seconds or
maybe
15
longer,
seconds.
Yeah.
Oh, you missed some really good stuff right there.
Yeah. So what did we miss?
Yeah.
So basically, by the way, Matt, if you freeze again, we're done with you forever.
Come on.
Okay, I can live with that.
Yeah, I think he's not. I don't think he's dying to join us.
It's in his contract. He has to.
So the deal with Lars is he got done with his rehab work in Southern California. He's able to go full weight bearing now. He's not medically cleared to play, but once he is medically cleared, it shouldn't take long for him to be ready. So he could be ready for opening day, if not opening day, shortly thereafter.
Yeah, I heard him on an interview talking about that, it's not a weightless treadmill, but or whatever, you would call it, where you're not getting that impact, and how he said he was able to really get in some really strong fitness, if not, the best fitness that he's been able to reach at this point in his career. And it's funny because obviously with running, so many runners use that type of treadmill to come back, because how do you keep your fitness up? So that's awesome that now that he can do full weight bearing, he's not as far behind the 8 ball as he might otherwise have been.
No, and part of that was he revealed to us yesterday that over the last couple of years, there were days where he would get home and he could not even walk upstairs. He would basically be clinching the banister to be able to walk up the stairs. That's how much pain he was in. So we can talk about the baseball stuff all we want. I'm really happy for Lars that he got this surgery, so he's able to actually have a quality of life that's good. I mean, this guy over the last 2 years had a hard and he said that after he got the boots off after the surgery, he had to completely relearn how to walk, that his legs just did not do it. He's been through a lot since that surgery happened in October.
Yeah, that is a lot. And a lot of guys, I don't know how well they come back from that, because it was such a big deal. And the fact that he played through as much as he did play through is pretty remarkable too. But I know that you don't, when you're a player, you don't want to give up your spot, especially if you feel like if you do, somebody's going to jump in and take it from you.
Yeah, and I think that was part of it. And actually, I'm hoping a little bit, because there's been some guys who have played through injuries. Last year, Nolan Arenado played through injuries. Brendan Donovan played through injuries. And there's a line that really needs to not be crossed when playing through injuries. And I hope the organization gets a little bit better when it comes to that. And I think we look at Lars last year. We've always called him a StatCast darling, because his baseball card numbers did not match what they should be based off his advanced numbers. And
see, this is not a long pause as he's thinking.
We're gonna hang up and we're gonna call him back.
Yeah, Matt, we're gonna call you back, buddy. But
that's our fault.
We'll use the phone. Is it our fault?
It's always our fault.
Yes.
Oh, okay. Well, that's no good.
I
I mean, you
think
see Matt's face right now. But
The building has internet, except for this room.
And KFTK and Y98 too. The radio stations, yeah.
Oh, that's so interesting. Maybe the internet can't get through the soundproofing. Did we ever think about that?
I don't think that's how that works.
Are you sure that it's not thick
Aren't
walls?
we hardwired?
Well,
you would think.
You would think.
Okay. Well, I don't know, but
you know what? I just want to say, since we are on a stream and you can view Ranj and me, I have a headless
YouTube, Facebook, and Twitter.
I have a headless Lars Nootbaar bobblehead. His head bobbled off. Well, so what happened is the Cardinals came in. Megan Eberhardt, she's with the Cardinals, does all the theme nights and the giveaways, brought in really cool Lars Nootbaar bobblehead. He's standing, I think he's surfing on a shark or over a shark. He's on a shark.
He's on a shark.
He's on a shark.
He hasn't jumped the shark. He's just on one.
He's on the shark. And she handed it to me. And I thought, oh my gosh, this is so cool. And immediately dropped it. His head hit the desk right here at Studio B, and his head popped off.
And we don't know where the head is.
We can't find the head. We had the head, but it's
Well,
gone. So now I have a headless Lars Nootbaar.
I believe I know where it's at. I'm not joking. I think I know where
Really?
Lars Nootbaar's head is.
Really?
Yeah.
You can't say?
I can't say because I can't be certain, but
Okay.
I feel like I've seen it recently.
Okay.
And so once I do find it,
Well-
I will bring it back into the studio. We've got Matt Pauly with us, who is on the phone. We don't even remember what we were talking about, Matt. We were, so Ivan Herrera, I know that he has gotten a lot of attention because they were trying to work him out at catcher, and he's been taking some reps in the outfield too. So how exactly do we think he's going to be used this year?
Yeah, so first off, the outfield thing, literally what we learned, because we all saw it, but then we asked Ali about it a day later. Ivan was on a no-throw day that day, and he has a really hard time staying still and being idle. So he literally went and took fly balls with the outfielders just to do something. There is no plans right now for him to be in the outfield. So that's the first thing. They still very much want him to catch at least a little bit. He's continuing to go through his throwing program. He's not yet at a point where he's throwing from the crouch, not yet at a point where he's going to be able to appear in games. But they've reprogrammed his throwing motion, and they feel like it's gonna be okay. So we're just gonna have to wait and see for once he gets medically cleared to appear in games. I doubt that he's going to be more than a 1 or 2 day a week catcher, but that's something that it's a way to add to his value and also do some other things with the lineup if you've got him catching every once in a while.
Matt Pauley, so as we get closer to actual Grapefruit League play, and we are going to have a broadcast on Saturday, actually. You can listen in here on 104.1 FM KMOX. That is such a great time of year because everybody is ready for spring training. We kind of talked about this yesterday, that once you get to spring, you start doing the workouts, you're on the field, doing the defensive stuff and taking swings and all of that. Guys are just ready for baseball. They're ready for games. How ready have they been? Is it pretty immediate by Tuesday? They're just ready to go, or does it take a little longer than that?
I think it takes a little longer than that, but I think we've hit the point now where what you just described absolutely is true. You want to go play some guys with different uniforms. There's enough. You've taken enough live BP sessions. You've done enough of those type of things that going and actually playing a game that feels borderline real is something that is much needed. I know from a media standpoint, we absolutely are ready for that to happen as well. So Saturday cannot get here soon enough.
All right, Matt Pauley, what else is on the docket for today?
Yeah, we're going to see a couple live BP sessions coming up in about 15, 20 minutes. And it's just not a whole lot of news today. We don't have any more of an update on Riley O'Brien and whether or not he's going to be able to participate in the WBC as he continues to deal with that calf issue. If I had to make a guess, I would say he's out for the WBC. I just don't know if he's completely stopped basically ramping up. And if you're a high leverage guy in the WBC, that means you are pitching innings that really matter. And he may not be able to ramp up in time for that, which is a bummer for him. But the Cardinals have not yet said he's out for the WBC. And outside of that, it's just kind of the standard stuff, standard spring training stuff every day.
Speaking of the World Baseball Classic, Amy and I were talking about the Olympics hockey teams and Sidney Crosby getting an injury. Was it Kevin Fiala got the injury too? And how the teams themselves, the NHL teams, would prefer that these players are not in the Olympics because they don't want them getting hurt. It's right in the middle of their season. And obviously, it is more important to the Pittsburgh Penguins if their players are healthy for their season than for the Olympics. Is it the same way with baseball teams? It's like the World Baseball Classic is a fun event, but they would prefer to have their players in camp instead of going to this tournament?
I think generally speaking, that's true. I don't think it's across the board true. I think for some guys, they think that the experience of being in the WBC and the experience of playing in those kind of games can be really, really valuable. And that's something that is important for those type of players to develop. I think they're all in on like a Thomas Saggese playing in the WBC. That's a great opportunity for him. But generally speaking, especially when we're talking about pitchers, I think there is a little bit of this internal fear of what could happen.
Yeah, they don't want them to max out. That's the thing, right? They're worried about them going full effort, especially early on when they may not quite be ready for it.
Yeah, 100. They were talking about that with Riley O'Brien before this injury even popped up. They were legitimately concerned that you've got a guy who's 2-3 weeks into camp and all of a sudden covering the 9th inning of a game in a sellout crowd in the Tokyo Dome, with people going crazy. Like, is his body ready to handle that? And I think, again, just knowing that was already a concern is what helps lead me to believe that I just don't think O'Brien's going to participate.
Well, and so then you guys would be okay then if the owners pushed back against the Players Association, because in the NHL, the Players Association wanted to go to the Olympics, right? And I'm guessing it's the same with the World Baseball Classic. Do you think this is where the owners should say, absolutely not, you owe it to us and the fans to reserve your talents?
So they can't. The WBC is kind of a Rob Manfred initiative, and part of the agreement is that teams cannot stop players from participating outside of injury reasons. Now, the thing that's happened last year, there's a ton of, like, Ivan Herrera is not playing because he could not get the insurance. If you're going to play in the WBC, you have to be covered from an insurance standpoint for injury. And many of these insurance companies and the underwriters are now at a point where they're not covering certain guys. So Ivan Herrera could not get insurance coverage, so he's not playing in the WBC. Carlos Correa couldn't get insurance coverage, so he's not playing in the WBC. That was the one where Bad Bunny actually offered to cover Carlos Correa, and the decision was made that that's not the right path to go down. But the actual teams, unless there is an active injury, the actual teams, per baseball rule and per Rob Manfred, are not allowed to do anything to stop players from participating.
Matt Pauley, tonight, countdown to opening day. Who's on the show?
Yeah, we're still putting it all together. I know Ozzie Smith is going to be on. We'll have a few other. I spend a lot of time all week long talking with folks, and then once I sit down in the editing room, we figure out exactly who's going to be on this week. But there's going to be a lot of players on for sure.
Thank you, Matt Pauley.
Thank you.
Yo, Paulie, your sister's with me. I'll call you back later. See ya.
Rush Hour Sports at 5 o'clock. Then at 6 until 8 o'clock, it is countdown to opening day. And we are getting ready for the beginning of the baseball season. It will happen next month, late next month.
You don't strike me as a sentimental person, but as we go to break here, is there a player each year that you're most excited to see, either because they're young and developing or you just like the guy?
I mean, yeah, I guess it's different every year. This year it's Weatherholt, just because we don't, all we have is minor league output. We don't have any actual big league stuff, and I'm curious to see how he does up against everybody else.
Sentimentally, Yoel Pozo for me. I like
Why?
Pozo. I just like
Because
his
he used to
story.
be fat and now he's lost a bunch of
What?
weight.
No, I didn't even know that.
Yeah, he's lost like 30 pounds or something.
Well, he's gone through a lot in his life.
Yeah.
And his life story and his family. He just seems like a great guy who's grateful to be here.
We have Major Garrett coming up not too long from now. We'll talk to him in 11 minutes or so. That is happening today on the Chris and Amy Show. We also have tickets for the Doobie Brothers and Santana performing at Hollywood Casino Amphitheater in June. We're going to give those away before the show is over. Got to be listening for your chance to win on KMOX.
Hey guys, Glover here with my friends at Michael's Baths. Were you feeling a little embarrassed when the family came to visit for the holidays and all you could think about was your bathroom not quite being up to par? Now is the perfect time to plan ahead for a spring installation of a beautiful new bathroom. At Michael's Baths, we specialize in beautiful, safe bathroom remodels, from tub to shower conversions to full renovations, including paint and electrical work. Call 636-775-0800 or go to michaelsbaths.com. Mike is a great guy, does great work. That's michaelsbaths.com.
Race car drivers like NASCAR champion Jesse Love are a lot like commercial drivers, pros, but even the best watch the tape to see what they missed and get better next time. The Samsara driving coach does the same for your fleet, giving drivers real-time feedback to build safer habits. Samsara's AI uses billions of miles of real driving data to help fleets prevent accidents and protect drivers.
If it makes me a better driver, it'll make your fleet unstoppable.
Because even champions need a coach. Learn more at Samsara.com.
When was the last time you watched your home movies? Disasters strike unexpectedly. Every year, American families lose the one thing they'd run back into a burning building for: their family's memories. Hi, I'm Nick. And I'm Adam. We started Legacy Box to help save your family's most important recorded moments so you don't have to worry. Load Legacy Box with your old movies, film reels, and shoeboxes of photos. We work our digitizing magic, converting those memories right to the cloud so they're safe and accessible forever. It's fast. We always send your originals back, and it's done right here in the USA. Over 1 million families have trusted Legacy Box. Better Homes and Garden, Real Simple, and Inc. Magazine are all talking about Legacy Box. New York Times columnist David Pogue says, "Have them digitized. I wish I'd done it sooner." Take action. Save your family's memories today with Legacy Box. Go to legacybox.com/value to get an incredible 50% off your Legacy Box. That's legacybox.com/value for 50% off while supplies last. legacybox.com/value.
Jefferson Starship, the Runaway Again Tour. Saturday, September 26th, the Family Arena. Also featuring Atlanta Rhythm Section. Firefall. and Orleans. Reserve seats on sale now at the Carroll House Furniture box office at the Family Arena or Ticketmaster. Jefferson Starship, featuring Atlanta Rhythm Section, Firefall in Orleans.
Sawyer Brown. Some girls don't like boys like me. Oh, but some girls do. And Lone Star. Every little thing that you do. Maybe I'm a live Saturday, March 14th, the Family Arena. Get tickets now at the Carroll House Furniture box office located at the Family Arena or Ticketmaster. Don't miss Sawyer Brown and Lone Star together live.
Join Mark Patrick Hypnosis. Lose the weight or stop smoking. Guaranteed only $59.99. Saturday, March 7th at the Residence Inn by Marriott, St. Louis Westport in St. Louis. Weight loss hypnosis starts at 11 a.m. Registration at 10:30 a.m. Stop smoking starts at 2 p.m. Registration 1:30 p.m.
The Missouri Valley Conference Men's Basketball Tournament has been the showcase for buzzer beaters, madness, and championship glory. With nearly 5 decades of heart-racing excitement, it begins here at Enterprise Center. The 2026 State Farm MVC Tournament, presented by Credit Union One, Great Southern Bank, and SSM Health, tips off on March 5th through 8th. Celebrate 50 years of the Valley's postseason championship. Get your tickets now at archmadness.com.
Yesterday, today, and tomorrow. KMOX, the voice of St. Louis.
Well, you may have heard on Total Information AM this morning and yesterday that the Boeing Defense Headquarters is returning to St. Louis after leaving the area in 2017. So Boeing announced yesterday that it's shifting its defense, space, and security headquarters back to the area after previously relocating to Chicago and then Arlington, Virginia in 2022. St. Louis had previously been the site of the headquarters from 1997 until 2017. In a statement, Boeing Defense, Space, and Security CEO Steve Parker said that the move is part of an effort for the company's leaders to work, quote, side by side with teammates in the area. Makes sense.
Yeah, well, it's good to have the company back here. I know that Secretary of Defense Pete Hegseth was in St. Louis yesterday, which is he's on what's called the Arsenal of Freedom tour. That's going on. Yes, it is to call to action to revitalize America's manufacturing might and re-energize the nation's workforce. So Pete Hegseth was here because of this. I mean, because of Boeing coming back to St. Louis. And yeah, I mean, it for a company that was McDonnell Douglas and had been here for years and years. And my dad worked for the McDonnell Douglas missile plant in St. Charles for a bit. Yeah, it's good to have it here in the area when a lot of businesses have been leaving, not just downtown St. Louis, but leaving the St. Louis region altogether. This is good.
Yeah.
It's good news for us.
Well, and Boeing employs more than 18,000 people in the St. Louis area.
That's why it's good for us,
So, yeah, it's great. I'm so sentimental about, I'm not sentimental about things. Like even as a kid, I didn't have a doll or a teddy bear that was my favorite, but I'm very sentimental about like moments and seasons. Kind of sentimental about the name McDonnell Douglas. Like growing up with it.
You're so weird.
I miss that name. I miss the TWA Dome. I miss TWA.
Why?
We were a hub, which was fun.
That you should miss.
Fun.
The name TWA, who cares?
Because I like old-timey things.
Yes, you really do.
That's why, like, my career, I said, here's what I'm going to do. AM radio. Now we're FM.
Mm-hmm.
We are FM.
And we have an app, the Odyssey app.
Which is very modern. But I like, it's for the same reason that we all call it Riverport still.
I don't.
Riverport.
You
don't call it Riverport?
Nope.
Well, it's just like
it's called Hollywood Casino Amphitheater.
Nobody calls it that.
We actually do because they give us tickets to give away, like the tickets we're giving away for the Doobie Brothers and Santana at Hollywood Casino Amphitheater in June.
You don't think there's sentimental value to Riverport?
No. I don't care about the names of stuff. I don't care about mascots. I don't care.
Well,
Fredbird? Yeah. I mean, Fredbird.
Come on. What do you mean? Okay,
Fredbird
you know
and
what?
I have a
This is
history.
hurt. This is hurt speaking. Hurt people. This is a broken little Chris Ranji thinking that Fredbird loved you and thought you were special because he bit your head.
And I thought he just did it to me, but he did it to everybody.
He did. And ever
So I
since
was
you've been a little bitter.
I was just one of his many millions of people. And I thought I was special, and I wasn't.
I think it's just I'm not breaking any ground here by speaking about nostalgia. Remember National, the grocery store?
Yeah.
At any rate, I like
Yeah, I
McDonald's,
don't,
Douglas. I'm glad Boeing is back
cool.
here. It's
But
good for the city.
It is interesting that you say that because people are tied to names a lot, and I don't care. Like the when I lived in Chicago, when they went from Sears Tower to Willis, and the amount of people who were just, I am never going to call it Willis Tower. Like, who cares? Why does this bother you so much? You know?
I think there's something. It's a connection. Names, especially as you get further away from the actual event itself or the time when you lived when it was the Sears Tower. It's when you change the name, it's easy to forget things.
The building is still there. If Busch Stadium became something else,
I'd cry.
You could still go to Busch Stadium and watch the
Oh.
Cardinals play.
There's a question of the week somewhere around here because names mean something.
And if the Cardinals became the Jackrabbits, you could still go and watch Jackrabbits games.
The Jackrabbits at GoDaddy.com stadium, I would never go.
Yes, you
No,
would.
I wouldn't.
Yes, you would, especially if they were good.
You know what? I was having a fine time until
Well, you don't go now
10:28.
anyway. What are you talking about? You don't even go to games now.
It's Put not that in your true.
book. Yeah. Doesn't matter. The team, just win. Just win.
This guy is a crab.
If what? I'm saying if the Cardinals win as the Jackrabbits, let's say they win 5 World Series in a decade, I don't care what they call them.
Wow, this guy is special.
You can call them the Pooh Birds for all I care. Just go win World Series.
More wrongness coming up on KMOX.
Oh, Amy doesn't want the Cardinals to win. Coming up next on KMOX. Here's Major Garrett. He'll be with us in a moment.
Spring training is here, and Cardinals baseball is heating up in Jupiter as young talent and big expectations take the field. The Gas House Gang is talking Cardinals all day long. Tom Ackerman, Chris Ranji, Bernie Miklasz, smart takes, insightful analysis, real Redbird conversation, plus live reports from Camp Cardinals with Matt Pauley and Mike Claiborne. If it matters to Cards fans, it's on the Gas House Gang. Weekdays at noon on KMOX.
This is the story of the one. As an HVAC technician, he and his digital multimeter are in high demand. So when a noisy office HVAC turns out to be a failing blower motor, he doesn't break a sweat. With Grainger's easy-to-use website and product information, he selects the product he needs to keep everything humming right along. Call 1-800-GRAINGER, click Grainger.com, or just stop by. Grainger, for the ones who get it done.
Do you owe $10,000 or more to the IRS like Mark?
I've been doing home remodeling for 30 plus years, but the economy crashed. I wound up losing my home, losing my job, and on top of that, owing the IRS a ton of money. I owed the IRS $114,000. It really, truly was the worst part of my life.
Then Mark found tax relief advocates.
On news radio, I heard about TRA, and I thought, what's the worst that could happen? So I picked up the phone and I called them. When it was all said and done, TRA settled my $114,000 debt for $100, and I'm telling you, I was ecstatic. Could not believe it. Would recommend TRA to anyone.
If you owe 10 or even hundreds of thousands of dollars to the IRS, don't lose hope. Do what Mark did and call TRA for a consultation.
But TRA did. They gave me a second chance, and I'm forever grateful.
Visit TRA.com or call 800-491-9914. 800-491-9914. That's 800-491-9914.
Now, KMOX weather from the Saliga Heating and Cooling Weather Desk.
It's a little humid. Feels like rain is a comin'. 57 degrees. Rather cloudy and warm. There could be some thunderstorms popping up early afternoon, and some of those could bring hail and damaging winds. So prepare for that. A high 68 today. Tonight, mainly clear, breezy, colder, a low of 34.
It's time for a $98 furnace tune-up.
Egglands.com. Nothing makes a gathering great like Eggland's best eggs. They're just so delicious with better nutrition, too. For us, it's eggs any style, as long as they're the best. Eggland's best. Better taste, better nutrition, better eggs.
Make plans for the 2026 Home Expo presented by the Home Builders and Remodelers Association. Friday and Saturday from 9 to 6, Sunday 10 to 3 at Belclair Fairgrounds in Belleville. Meet experts from 175 plus booths. Enjoy hourly giveaways, live performances, and pet adoptions with Gateway Pet Guardians. Admission and parking are free, and over 10,000 people are expected to attend. Proudly sponsored by Aloha Pools, Jacob Family Enterprises, Mid-America Cabinet Refacing, McCullough Flooring, and many more. Get all the details at hbrmea.org.
Are you turning 65 or new to Medicare? Humana knows not everyone has the same needs when picking a Medicare Advantage plan.
Now that I'm retired, I want to enjoy the life I've worked hard to build. So I want a plan that covers me when I'm traveling the country.
Humana has a plan for that.
As a veteran, I want a plan that fills in the gaps my VA coverage doesn't provide, like dental care.
Humana has a plan for that.
I feel good about my health. I just want care and coverage with predictable costs. No surprises.
Humana has a plan for that. With a Humana Medicare Advantage plan, you get coverage and benefits that focus on what matters most to you. Learn more at gethumana.com. Humana, a more human way to healthcare. Humana is a Medicare Advantage HMO and PPO organization with a Medicare contract. Enrollment in any Humana plan depends on contract renewal.
It's men's Billikens basketball action Friday night as they face VCU. Pre-game 5:45, tip at 6 on your home for Billikens basketball. KMOX.
It's Major News with Major Garrett, our weekly conversation with CBS's chief Washington correspondent.
He is also the host of The Takeout, a show on CBS News 24/7. You can watch it, you can listen to it. And Major Garrett is with us every Thursday, and he joins us now on KMOX. Good morning, Major.
Good morning. How is everybody?
We are doing okay. Let's start with some big news that happened overseas, actually, because the Epstein files are such a big deal and still in the news, and a person prominently in them is the former Prince Andrew, who was arrested today in England. So what has been the reaction in Washington as that has happened today?
Well, it's a shuddering event. I mean, the King of England expressed his support, said the process must go forward, and he was deeply concerned about the implications. Now, as people might already be well aware, the former Prince Andrew, stripped of his royal titles, was not arrested for sex trafficking or sex crimes of any kind or investigations into those, but for potentially disclosing information, sensitive information, either financial or otherwise. And that's the crux of the investigation. So not about sex, but about other information. It's not a particularly applicable analogy, but it would be like Al Capone. What was he tripped on? Tax evasion, okay? Ancillary to the thing that was most concerning to the royals and the victims and survivors than Prince Andrew's behavior in and around Jeffrey Epstein's estate, his island, and with Ghislaine Maxwell. But this is something that would have been inconceivable. Let me repeat that, inconceivable, without the persistence of survivors, their legal representatives, driving this issue into the public square, having a law on the books signed by President Trump, revealing more information. And as more and more of the information becomes revealed, not just Prince Andrew, but many who had relationships with Epstein and Maxwell long after Epstein's first plea deal are suffering either substantial reputational harm. Some are stepping down from prominent positions in the private and public sector. And in the case of former Prince Andrew, now under arrest.
And as you mentioned, the reputational harm, it's also, we have to note that while Andrew was arrested, they still have to bring charges and have the ability to keep him. It's not necessarily he's been arrested to be thrown in jail. He could be released in 24 hours.
Right. Anyone who is familiar with BritBox and watches any of the many wonderful British detective shows knows they have a lower bar under the English system of law than we do in the United States. You get arrested here, there's a very high probability you're going to be charged. Some people arrested in our nation are released, but it's very common in Britain under their legal system. You're being held for inquiry, and if the inquiry doesn't go very far, you can be released. And so it's not as dramatic a legal step as it would be perceived in America. And one of the reasons those differences are, as I've just described, and that's one of the reasons under British law, former Prince Andrew was arrested as a 66-year-old, is his birthday today, by the way, white male. No identification of him. You'd be identified in America.
Oh, yeah. Yeah. Major, as we look at this and see how he was arrested, and like you said, kind of like Al Capone, it's, the tax issue. I'm not sure if it gives me more hope or less hope that the guilty will face consequences, because it feels like, well, if you can't get Prince Andrew on the salacious Epstein stuff, what hope is there that the guilty parties in the Epstein files here in the U.S. will face any real consequences unless they're picked up for something else?
Well, that's a great question. I don't have the answer to that. I'm not a prosecutor. I've never been a prosecutor. I just do know that those who have been speaking out this morning, survivors of the Epstein crimes, have expressed relief and a sense of hope that accountability, even if it is indirect accountability, can come. And if it intrudes upon historically pretty safe terrain in the Western world, the British monarchy, then it gives them hope that other people who have done things that are worthy at least of investigation and possibly prosecution may not be able to evade that as they have for so many years. That's their hope. I'm expressing it the way they've expressed it, but I don't know exactly what directions this may or may not take.
Major, are we about to start a war with Iran?
It feels like we are doing everything in our power to position ourselves for not just a war, but a prolonged one. There are plenty of really good reporters in the region and we have reporters here at CBS, Charlie D'Agata and James Laporta, who have confirmed this with senior administration officials. Basically, the Pentagon has told the president they will be ready with every asset necessary for him to make a decision if he wants to make a decision as early as Saturday. This morning, the president at his Board of Peace meeting here in Washington said it will be at least 10 days. The White House keeps telling Iran, make a deal, because you're going to regret it if you don't. A deal on nuclear is probably achievable. A deal on nuclear, ballistic missiles, proxy support for Hezbollah and the Houthis in Yemen and other bad actors in the region may not be as gettable. But to make sure that those things continue to be negotiated and maybe the United States can extract some concessions, maybe not all the concessions they want, they are signaling to Iran all of the same kind of military equipment that we used to launch the invasion of Iraq in 2003 are now or very soon will be present in the region. That's carrier strike groups, not just one, but two, all sorts of planes. We don't have the ground forces, of course, but we have a lot of aerial assets that we can bring to bear and reinforce those aerial assets on an ongoing basis with aerial tankers to refuel them, lots of things to intercept ballistic missiles. Basically, we are getting loaded for something, getting really ready for something. Now, that just might be a hammer over the Iranian regime's head. You're weak economically. You've had to kill who knows how many thousands in the streets. Your days might be numbered if you don't cut a deal with this big bag military force that's now in the region called the United States. How the Iranians calculate all that, I have no idea. What President Trump's actual appetite for a prolonged war in Iran is, I don't know. What the MAGA base's tolerance will be for a long new war in the Middle East, I don't know that either. There are a lot of variables, but we are certainly preparing to do something if he gives the order.
I know you used the phrase that it could be a prolonged war. Does that always imply ground forces or not necessarily?
Well, it usually does, but we are in a new era of warfare. I think most people who would have put together the plans for the Maduro operation a decade or 15 years ago would have thought that a much larger on-the-ground footprint for a much longer period of time would have been required, as it was for Manuel Noriega under President George Herbert Walker Bush. But it wasn't. It was so fast so disruptive, so comprehensive that it was just the finite number, a very small number comparatively, of special operators, couple 3 hours, and in and out. So I don't know. We're not prepared. We're not massing forces like we did before either of the two Iraq wars. That's one big fundamental difference. But everything else is there. Everything else is in the region, and that means a lot of sorties. That means a lot of flying. That means a lot of dropping of bombs. That's kinetic warfare inside Iran with, and I think anyone listening to my voice can understand this, unknowable potential consequences, because Iran can't reach us, but it can reach many of our allies in the region. It can reach Saudi Arabia. It can destroy a lot of infrastructure there. Same thing in the UAE, same thing in Qatar, same thing in Oman. They can cause a lot of havoc, and they can cause havoc in Iraq. They can cause havoc in Turkey. Among neighboring countries, Iran can still make things miserable. And that's always been the calculus of any American president, trying to decide what is the next step if there is a regime change war. Because make no mistake, if this is launched, this will not be about nuclear deterrence. It will be about changing the regime in Iran and then owning whatever comes next in that country for those people and in the region.
Years before Trump became president the first time, he said that, and he did this over the course of a couple of years, he said that Barack Obama was going to start a war with Iran to get reelected, and that he was going to do it to appear, because he was weak and ineffective, and he wanted to do it to appear strong. So knowing all of that, that context, does that mean anything now?
Not really, in that it was like so much of Trumpian campaign rhetoric, exaggerated and just meant to make someone he perceives to be weak feel or look weaker to the broader audience and make him, by comparison, seem or look or sound stronger. You're president of the United States. You have implied strength. And this president clearly, with the Maduro raid and the boat strikes in the Caribbean and the Western Pacific, has made it clear he's not going to hesitate when he believes it's necessary to use U.S. military assets. So nobody's really uncertain whether or not President Trump would make a move like this. He's made it in our hemisphere. The question is, would he make it in a place where, unlike those other two examples, Maduro or the Caribbean or the Western Pacific, those are single strikes that don't have prolonged ramifications. Again, a regime change war in Iran takes a long time. Not clear if you can obtain your objectives, not clear if you can define your objectives. But even if you can obtain those short-term defined objectives, you own everything else that comes. And Iraq is a very clear lesson that you can obtain short-term objectives. You can obtain them faster than you imagined you would, and you can still have a mess on your hands.
Major, we're throwing you all over the world here, but the third set of U.S. brokered talks between Ukraine and Russia finished up yesterday in Geneva. Not a lot of progress was made. What's the main takeaway from that?
The main takeaway is they're talking and bombing at the same time. I mean, the war continues. The Russian efforts to obliterate as much of the energy infrastructure, make winter as paralyzing and difficult and discouraging for the Ukrainians, carries on, yet unsuccessfully, meaning unsuccessfully in breaking the will of the Ukrainians. It's really remarkable how much they are willing to put up with in order to preserve their own sovereignty and not fall prey to the Russian invasion. That doesn't mean that Russia is any more inclined to negotiate at the peace table than it has been for the last 6 months. It appears even less willing to do that if that's possible. There's rhetorical pressure on Zelensky, but it's not really manifesting itself in any way that seems to be changing his calculus. That they're still talking is, I guess, beneficial because it's better to be talking than not talking. And the Ukrainians are slowly moving to a place of accepting some territorial concessions. They're still undefined, but what Russia has occupied since 2014, when through a kind of non-official way, meaning not with their own military under their own flag and under their own uniforms, but through less obvious ways, took over Crimea. That part is probably gone, and I think the Ukrainians are moving politically and otherwise to understanding that. It's the Donbass and other areas farther west of that, far eastern part of Ukraine, that is the real topic of negotiations and a very hard thing to solve.
Major Garrett, we appreciate you as always. Thank you for talking with us today.
Thanks so much. Talk next week.
CBS Chief Washington Correspondent, that is Major Garrett. Again, The Takeout, you should watch, you should listen to The Takeout on CBS News 24/7. And Major does join us just after 10:30 every Thursday on 104.1 FM KMOX. And did you know that the NBA is still happening? Yes, the Olympics are going on. You could still be placing bets on the Olympics, but you have an opportunity to go to the NBA Finals, and FanDuel is giving you your chance to do it right now. All you have to do is use your profit boost on an NBA future, and you're going to be entered for a shot to win an NBA Finals trip for two. NBA futures, they let you lock in your pick for who you think is going to go all the way. So that could be winning the conference. It could be winning the championship outright. Just go to FanDuel.com/Missouri and get started now. FanDuel.com/Missouri. Play your game with FanDuel, official sports betting partner of the NBA. Must be 21 or over and present in Missouri. No purchase necessary. Limit one entry. For Profit Boost token, opt-in required. Must apply Profit Boost token on select market. Restrictions apply. See full terms, including methods of entry at sportsbook.fanduel.com. Gambling problem? Call 1-800-GAMBLER.
I got you something extra special for Valentine's Day.
Yeah?
How does a blow and go sound?
I like it.
Great. Air Comfort Service will be here on Monday.
Wait, what?
Our attic insulation is in bad shape. Air Comfort Service heating and cooling and insulation can top off our insulation with blow and go and make our home more energy efficient. We can save up to 30% on our energy bills.
I love it when you talk savings to me.
Schedule your blow and go attic installation from Air Comfort Service. Visit aircomfortservice.com/blow today.
Turning 50 doesn't mean slowing down. It means getting smarter about your health. That's why we created NeoVitan Men's 50 Plus Multivitamin. It's doctor formulated to support your energy, immune health, and overall vitality. Plus, it's made in the U.S. using the finest domestic and international ingredients. Take control of your health with supplements you can trust. Look for NeoVitan Men's 50 Plus at your local Schnucks, Dierbergs, or online at neovitan.com. NeoVitan, made for men who keep moving forward.
Is your furnace on its last legs? Don't wait for a cold night to find out. Jerry Kelly and KMOX are giving you the chance to win a brand new furnace this winter season. Just go online to KMOX.com/contest through March 1st and nominate someone who you think deserves a brand new furnace. Sponsored by Jerry Kelly Heating and Air Conditioning. Win a brand new furnace. For more information and contest rules, just head to KMOX.com/contests.
I'm Bob Burke, founder and chairman of Burke America Parts Group, a family of brands that includes RepairClinic.com, an appliance and HVAC parts solution company that's grown into an international brand. Before AmericanEagle.com, we partially launched a new technology platform developed by another firm. American Eagle helped take our technology to a whole new level with digital marketing, software development, and business insights into our key markets, appliances, HVAC, and outdoor power equipment, and did so both on time and on budget. AmericanEagle.com has the resources, experience, and talent needed to produce solutions. Our new technology platform, developed by AmericanEagle.com, has produced tremendous results with higher traffic, conversion, engagement, and online revenue. If you have any home repairs you need to take care of, check us out at RepairClinic.com. If you need a world-class website or technology project, then I would highly recommend AmericanEagle.com.
Call AmericanEagle.com at 773-NETWORK. That's AmericanEagle.com, 773-NETWORK.
In 1991, John and Cindy Morelli started Morelli Tuck Pointing. As of today, they've won just about every award possible for the tuck pointing business. The BBB Torch Award, the Next Door Neighborhood Fave Award, and an A+ rating from the Better Business Bureau. For homeowners, this is a great time to get a free inspection of your basement, your brick or stone fireplace, your garage interior, your porch, and maybe even your walkway. Indoor tuck pointing can be started now. Hi, this is Charlie Brennan. My wife Beth and I have used Morelli Tuck Pointing to work on 2 of our homes now over the last 25 years. We have found the Morelli bids to be fair. Their crews are very polite and they clean up after themselves. But most importantly, their work is beautiful. Family owned and operated since 1991. 314-645-1387, MorelliTuckPointing.com.
Chris Raunchy, Amy Markscores, because life is too short for boring radio. 104.1 FM, KMOX.
You know, we are kind and giving people. And remember how yesterday we gave away tickets to see Santana and the Doobie Brothers at Hollywood Candido Amphitheater?
We'll do it again.
You want to do it today?
Yeah, not right now.
All right. Are you
I'm
sure?
gonna make, I'm
Are
going
you
to make
sure?
these people, it's called a cliffhanger. I'm making these people wait
See, I
around.
think you should avoid the phrase "these people."
Who?
You.
Why? They are these people. Are they not these people?
It's a little off-putting.
It's not as bad as those people. These people means we're one of them.
These people.
Those people are other.
That's right. These are not others. They are our people.
Question of the week: which is worse, these people, those people?
I didn't say your people. I said these people,
That's
meaning
really
our
bad.
people.
About
right?
them.
Our people.
Them. Hey, we're going to wait and make all of them wait.
Yeah.
They can wait on this. Because
I feel
these,
like we sound less nice now.
These are our tickets, and we will give them away to them whenever we see fit to do so.
Are our listeners our people? Like, these are our people.
Yeah, they're our people.
Because they're our listeners.
Yeah, and
But what if they listen to other things?
Well, then,
then
they can go to hell.
The one that starts with DGS.
well, okay, no, that's fine. As long as you're listening all day, I don't
Okay.
care what you do.
Well, now listen. We've got an hour and 6 minutes
Approximately.
to give these tickets away. And unfortunately, most of you will lose. Pretty much everyone except for one caller is going to lose.
I think they know that this is difficult to win these tickets.
This feels like a grammar lesson.
I think we've gotten most of them right, too. I don't think we've blown it yet. I'm not exactly sure,
So
though.
anyway, keep listening because if you love Santana and the Doobie Brothers, they sing that song, Doobie, Doobie, Doo.
That's not them. I found that out the hard way.
Oh, no.
Michael McDonald punched me in the face.
June 20th, 2026. That just feels like a made-up date. June 20th, 1998 feels more real to me.
What?
At any rate.
Can you believe it's 2026, Amy?
Do you know what? I can't. Because
still, it's February.
I know. Well, it's not that it's 2026. It's the whole 2020 anything. My friend posted their kids and they were class of 2034. And I'm like, is that even real? 2034? That's like spacesuit.
We're not making it that long. That ain't going to happen.
What? Us or
This society is not going to make it.
Or them?
No, society.
We, the people?
We, the people, are not lasting until 2034.
What do you think's going to happen before 2034?
Nuclear war or something terrible.
Let me just say this.
Because we're starting a war with Iran?
Yeah.
Us, them, these people, those people, our people. None of them are as dangerous as they.
What about them yo people? How about that?
Love that show.
Great show.
Love them yo people.
Yeah.
We had him on.
We did.
Mr. Gary.
It was.
We had Mr. Gary on.
It was about a year. Oh, was it a 314 day we had him come in?
Yes, it was. Yeah. At
It
any
was
rate,
great.
none of those groups are as dangerous as they because they are out to get you.
That is correct. We were talking about names and how names are important to people like Amy Markscores.
Yes,
and
because I think sentimental value and nostalgia and hearkening back to a simpler time or a time where maybe it was something great about St. Louis. The TWA days were great St. Louis days.
So this texter says TWA was synonymous with St. Louis. A TWA 747 used to scream over my house every day around 1 o'clock nonstop to Hawaii.
Oh,
and so,
love that.
So yes, all I'm saying is TWA, the name itself doesn't matter. It could be called anything as long as we can have that back. You know, these nonstop, like St. Louis being a hub, that's the thing that matters. It's not the name itself, you know?
Well,
and we're just not a hub like we used to be.
we are not a hub. Hey, another 618 says, I miss Famous Bar. Yes. See, to me, so many great memories. Famous Bar, I love that name.
And I love Macy's. I'm fine with it. I like the parade. Actually, I don't like the parade. I don't care. But I do like going into a Macy's.
This guy, what is he? He's a mean one, Mr. Grinch.
I said I like Macy's. How does that make me a Grinch? I like going in there. It's my favorite department store.
I like Dillard's.
Dillard's is okay too.
Yeah, Dillard's is fun because it sounds like a type of duck.
Amy she's got a new hobby, and she's going to tell us all about it. Amy is going to collect Legos now as a 40-something-year-old woman.
Ugh.
That's next on KMOX.
For decades, Morgan & Morgan has represented hundreds of thousands of people at their hour of need. Injuries on the job, car crashes, medical malpractice, and nursing home abuse, Social Security claims, dangerous drugs, and dangerous products. We became America's largest injury firm for a reason, and no firm is even close. Then we got to thinking, what if we could prevent these terrible events before they occurred? So we built the AI-powered People Protector. Simply visit peopleprotector.com and type in the product you have questions about before you buy it. Children's toys and accessories, cars, drugs, products, you name it, we got it. With our success, we decided to pay it forward for all of America. Our way of saying thank you for your trust all these years. Morgan & Morgan, protecting America. And if you've already been injured, just visit us at forthepeople.com.
The choice of a lawyer is an important decision and should not be based solely upon advertisements. Past results afford no guarantee of future results. Every case is different and must be judged on its own merits.
Italian subs for your finance team in Chicago. Easy Cater. Burritos for your call center crew in Plano. Easy Cater. Bagels for your sales reps meeting clients in Charlotte. Easy Cater. Hot chicken sandwiches for your third shift warehouse workers in Memphis. Easy Cater. Your teams may be spread out across the country, but you've got one platform to feed them all, whenever and wherever they work, with food they love from favorite restaurants. Easy Cater. Food for the workplace, all in one place. Order now at easycater.com.
This is the story of the one. As the purchasing manager at a manufacturing plant, she knows the only thing more important than having the right safety gear is having it there when you need it. That's why she partners with Grainger for auto reordering, so her team members can count on her to have cut-resistant gloves on hand, and each shift can run safely and efficiently. Call 1-800-GRAINGER, click Grainger.com, or just stop by. Grainger, for the ones who get it done.
Midwest winters take a real toll on your garage door. Let my friends at Overhead Door Company of St. Louis come out and perform their 26-point tune-up on your garage door and opener. The work is guaranteed, and it's just one price for up to 3 garage doors and openers. No extra charge for evening or Saturday service. Overhead Door Company of St. Louis, since 1926, 100 years. Schedule online at overheaddoorsstlouis.com. That's overheaddoorsstlouis.com.
Celebrating 100 years of informing and entertaining. KMOX AM St. Louis, KMOX FM Hazelwood, the voice of St. Louis.
When it comes to planning your retirement, there's a lot to think about. Portfolio management, tax planning, and retirement income just to get started. Steve All and his team at the All Financial Group focus on those things and more. Their goal is to help you achieve your goals. Call 636-230-8824 or online, yourmoneymattersstl.com.
Investment advisory products and services made available through Impact Partnership Wealth, LLC, IPW, a registered investment advisor. Insurance and annuities offered through Steve All, NPN number 153-07419.
It is 11 o'clock. Right now, we've got mostly cloudy skies and 61 degrees in downtown St. Louis. I'm Debbie Monterey. The Ohio Nurses Association is asking for the removal of Les Wexner's name from campus buildings, including the Ohio State University Wexner Medical Center. The billionaire is behind the retail empire that included Victoria's Secret, Abercrombie & Fitch, and Pink. Despite being a longtime friend of Jeffrey Epstein's, Wexner told a closed congressional hearing yesterday he was duped by a world-class con man. The former Prince Andrew is the first senior British royal in modern history to be arrested. He was arrested today on his 66th birthday on suspicion of misconduct in public office. He was stripped of his royal titles because of his links to Jeffrey Epstein. He promised 3 years ago that he would never run for office again. That was when Ted Hoskins, former state rep, Berkeley mayor, and councilman, was facing criminal charges of election fraud. In exchange for that agreement, charges were dropped, but Ted Hoskins, 3 years later, has filed his paperwork to run for city council again, and other officials are calling on prosecutors to give the 87-year-old the boot. According to the Post-Dispatch, the situation is under review by the Jackson County Prosecuting Attorney's Office, which is serving as special prosecutor in the case. KMOX auto expert says the proposal to eliminate vehicle inspections in Missouri could be dangerous. Greg Damon, GM at Sparks Tire and Auto in St. Charles, says those inspections catch a lot of issues on older cars.
All sorts of stuff that can cause damage to not only you while you're driving, but possibly involve you into an accident and you hurt somebody else running into somebody else.
This week, the Missouri House approved a bill that would eliminate the biannual inspections for vehicles over 10 years old or vehicles that have more than 150,000 miles. St. Louis is the 5th most dangerous city for birds during spring migration and 6th most dangerous during fall. Matt Barton with the St. Louis Audubon Society says their 2025 Bird Safe STL study of downtown St. Louis and Clayton counted 547 deadly bird collisions, and the most deadly building is on Market Street.
This is Bank of America Plaza. And part of that is the material of the building. It's a kind of a darker reflective glass. So that can cause, if a bird were to see trees reflecting off of that building, it might the bird might actually think that that is a tree they could fly over to and utilize.
St. Louis is like a bird highway during migration periods, which is why the Arch Central Library and other buildings turn off their lights at night during those periods. From the KMOX business desk, Waymo is paying DoorDash drivers to find their cars and close the door. Waymo is the autonomous vehicle company that's running a pilot program in Atlanta and is coming to St. Louis. When passengers leave the door open, the car won't move at all. Waymo and DoorDash releasing a statement saying they're working together to get stalled cars in Atlanta back on the road.
Clouds and a few peaks of sunshine for the rest of today. It'll become breezy and warm. Watch out for a thunderstorm or two, any of which can produce hail and damaging wind gusts, the high reaching 68. It'll become clear early tonight, some cloud late, windy and much colder, the low 35. Sun and some clouds, breezy and quite chilly tomorrow, high only 47. From the Saliga Heating and Cooling Weather Desk, I'm AccuWeather meteorologist Joe Lundberg on 104.1 FM KMOX.
Cloudy and 61 degrees. The weather sponsored by U.S. Air Force Band of Mid-America Free Concerts. I'm Debbie Monterey, KMOX News.
Don't miss the U.S. Air Force's Shades of Blue Jazz Ensemble, February 25th through March 4th. Enjoy big band swing, patriotic favorites, and more. Get free tickets and locations at afbandtix.org. That's afbandtix.org.
Chris and Amy now. The Dave Glover Show at 1 on the voice of St. Louis, KMOX.
Amy, text messages to 314-436-7900. This texter says, I'm selfish. I want Famous Bar and Macy's, Sticks, Bear and Fuller, and Dillard's.
Yes.
You can't have them all.
You know,
you just can't.
I never went to Sticks, Bear and Fuller. I don't know if it was gone by the time I was born or by the time I could remember. But my mom always talks about Sticks, Bear and Fuller.
I have very vague memories of it.
Really?
Very vague. I mean, like I know that we went to it. I don't remember what it looked like, but I remember going in. Yeah. Sticks, Bear and Fuller.
I love Famous Bar, though. So many good memories at Famous Bar. Okay. We need the people's help. See how the people is way better than those people or these people or our people.
I said our people.
We need the people, our people's help here. About midlife crises.
Mm-hmm.
I want to know, have you had one? What age did you have your midlife crisis? Are you going through a midlife crisis now? What age are you supposed to have a midlife crisis? What did you do for your midlife crisis? How did you handle it? What did you buy? I want to know this because what is the cliche when you think of someone going through a midlife crisis? I picture, the 40-year-old male buying a red Porsche, something like that. Fancy
that was
car.
the 80s midlife crisis.
What is it now?
Well, nobody buys red cars anymore.
I think they do.
Not really.
Your issue is the color?
Well, like a red Porsche used to be the thing. It's not a thing anymore.
Well, okay, we were going to have this
people
conversation.
Are buying black cars.
Okay. We were going to have this conversation anyway because Matt and I were talking about a midlife crisis, and I think I'm going through one. I think it mainly consists of looking in the mirror going, oh my gosh, you're old. It's just, or like seeing someone who is 32 and feeling like that's a peer. No, Amy, someone who is 32 is 10 years younger than you are. They're not your peer.
Mm-hmm.
You round up to 50 more than you round down to 35, 34. I mean, kind of. It's close, but you know what I mean. Like, at any rate, I think I'm going through a midlife crisis, and the way I'm manifesting my crisis is I'm buying a lot of lotion and cream to try to
to not
look young.
Oh, okay.
And I don't think I look young, but I think I look shiny. I think I look a little oily.
Shiny's a thing now, which I don't.
It is, well, it's called glass skin.
Yeah, I don't like it.
Yeah, it's Korean skincare. Where like in Korea, obviously, like having zero wrinkles, having very smooth skin is called glass skin, and everyone's into that.
I don't think it looks good when people have really shiny faces.
But you don't want matte faces.
No, but the shine.
Matt's face.
You want a face like mine.
Yeah.
You definitely don't want Matt's face.
But basically, part of my, it's more of a bunch of daily realizations that, oh my gosh, I cannot believe I'm 42. And then I watch a commercial where some lady's like, use this eye cream. It will make your wrinkles go away. And I buy it. Of course, it doesn't make your wrinkles go away. Well, anyway, imagine my surprise when on Total Information AM this morning, I hear Debbie Monterey talking about a midlife crisis. And she says this.
A midlife crisis used to mean buying a Corvette or a Porsche. Now it's Lego. This year's big toy fair in New York City revealed that adults now account for about a quarter of all toys purchased in the U.S.
It's why they've started making more expensive things like coloring books and puzzles for grown-ups to drones and 3D printer crafting sets. There's even a coffee table DJ kit for 40-somethings, and it's become such a big business, they've even got a name for them now, Kidults.
Okay, so you have a real problem with the Legos. That was Debbie and Tom today.
Not that I have a real problem with it, but I kind of agree. In fact, you nailed it when I said the Porsche or whatever. Now, you focused on the color of the car.
That was part of it, though.
But you said the 80s, people bought cars. And I think you're right that our age, like old millennials like me and younger Gen Xers like you, we would all be going through a midlife crisis. And a lot of people my age, I know a lot of guys that do buy Legos. I feel like they might be a little bit younger, maybe like in their 30s. But these Lego sets, they're not for kids. I am on Lego.com.
Mm-hmm.
I'm looking at a Death Star. Now, obviously, Star Wars spans generations, but it's a Death Star. It's 9,023 pieces. Guess how much this Lego kit costs?
$20.
$1,000.
There you go.
Here's a Millennium Falcon. It's 7,500 pieces. It's actually 7,541. It's $850. So you would have to be in your midlife. That's how much a Porsche costs.
And parents aren't buying that for their kids. Now, you could, just on the surface, if you say adults are getting into Legos now, your first thought would be, oh, that's kid stuff. Grow up. However, because of the sophisticated, and it's weird to say this, but Legos now are really sophisticated and they're elaborate. And there is a stress relieving component to putting those pieces together. It's no different than putting together a puzzle. Mm-hmm. It's more complicated than putting together a puzzle, on the table. And then maybe if you want to, you can glue it down and then make a picture out of it, put it up on the wall. Some people do that. And that's not considered a children's activity. Yeah. That's a thing that adults do to pass time. It is a stress reliever.
My mom loves to puzzle. Yeah.
Yeah. And what is different about this? It's that they're a little more complicated, but it's the same kind of idea. There is a great stress relieving component to doing it. And because they have the partnerships with Star Wars and Marvel and Harry Potter, kid stuff, but also things that adults like too. I mean, this makes perfect sense to me.
Well, Matt said, he brought up a good point. He goes, how is this, any different than building models, of whether it's like military vehicles or trains, trains?
I've got a buddy who's my age in his mid-20s, and he builds the Lego Star Wars ships, and he puts them on display, and there's a little placard that tells you the name of the ship and what movie it's in. And it's not my thing. I give him a hard time for it. Yeah. He laughs, but he displays them like they're model cars.
I get it.
Trains, yeah.
I bought, did I tell you this or no? I thought I did a few months ago. It was prior to Christmas, yeah. So walking through Target and saw a bonsai tree.
Yeah.
A Lego bonsai tree. And I'm like, that looks really cool. So I bought it. I haven't put it together yet, but I have a Lego bonsai tree that I will assemble at some point. I have a friend who is 51, I think, 51 or 52, and he buys Lego sets, like really elaborate Lego sets, and he has several of them that he has yet to put together, and he keeps seeing more that he wants to buy. He's like, oh, I got to get this one, and I have to get that one. So I personally know people who are well into adulthood who are doing this.
Yeah.
So I guess it just doesn't seem that weird to me.
No, it doesn't. It's just that it makes sense that this might be something. Maybe it's a little bit less crisis motivated than it is they just really like these things and they've always liked these things. Because I've never looked at a model train and thought, that's a crisis. This guy's going through a midlife crisis. He bought a model train. That's kind of more like acceptance.
Yeah,
Once
I
you
would
buy
say
a model train, you've accepted where you are at in life.
It's near the end, let's be honest.
Well, I love trains.
Hey, Ranj, 314 says, my husband and I, they're 71 and 69.
Nice.
They just bought a red RAV4 for road trips. Red is fun.
Oh,
yeah.
Red is fun.
Sporty.
Red is fun, but it isn't a very popular color now.
How do you know this? Is this anecdotal?
No, it isn't. It doesn't, because it used to be in the 80s. It was like red Ferrari, red
Corvette,
Porsche, like all
yeah,
these
yeah.
red sports cars, like really flashy. They're kind of not the thing now. It's darker colors, like black cars.
A 314 says the term midlife crisis is an excuse for not accepting the realities of life. I don't think it's an excuse. Isn't it just a panic? It's like, oh my gosh. No, but you're right. I guess it's refusing to accept
It's
it.
waking up and realizing, oh
old.
gosh,
I'm cool. I'm going to buy
Yeah.
this car.
because you don't necessarily see yourself the way other people see you, and that's a hard thing to accept.
Yeah. Like,
For some people, others are like, who cares? I don't
Yeah.
care what you think of me.
It's weird for me. Partly, here's why I do think it's weird. And Ranj, maybe you feel that same way. There are certain milestones in life that a lot of people go through as they age that we haven't done. I've not
Of
been
course.
married.
Yeah, I
I don't
haven't either.
have kids. And when you get married and have kids, that changes your life, fundamentally. Your whole life looks different. And then you kind of fall into a subset of people that it's the larger subset, I should say. But, it's the families, it's the schools, it's the kid activities. And once you're in your 40s and you're not married and you don't have kids, a lot of your friends are very busy in that family life stuff and the house, the home life stuff. And those are their social circles because that makes sense. That's how it works. And then you're like, wow, I'm 42 and here I am just hanging out.
But also some of your friends who are in that world, I think there's a give and take for both. There are obviously a lot of rewards for having that life.
Mhm.
And for people who are in that life, they can look at you and go, man, I love that she has that freedom. I kind of miss that.
The
I
grass
miss
is
having
greener
it.
in different
There's
areas.
No
for
doubt
sure.
about that.
They'll say they live vicariously through me because I'm like, oh yeah, going to the Blues game and now I'm on the radio or we're talking to this person. We're chatting with Robbie Avila and I went for a run and I went to bed at 8.
Yeah.
Like, not that they would give up their kids. It's not that, but there's always an element where
Of
you go,
course.
hey, that was fun.
Ricky in South City text into the show, says, my midlife crisis hit when I was 43. I woke up one day, divorced my
Oh my
wife,
gosh.
bought some weapons, bought a convertible, and now I'm a happy camper. What?
Keep an eye on him.
That's
I'm going to keep an eye on
that
Ricky.
doesn't.
Why did you buy weapons? To protect
But what
yourself?
about his wife?
I don't know. Like, did you buy a moat?
These people.
Did you buy a moat too? Just to was she coming back to attack you?
No.
That's very,
Well,
very interesting to me.
Ugh. Big Blonde Dan says, I suppose I'm not old enough to comment, but I had a strange age-related awakening when I hit 30 and just a little doughy. Made me feel like it's now or never. Changed my eating habits, prioritized exercise, and promised myself I would not end up with my dad's late life physique. That's a real one.
I've been told that Big Blonde Dan is a specimen.
I have heard that too.
Was it by the Glover show?
Yeah, they said they were impressed, Big Blonde Dan. Nice work.
And he is actually big.
Yes.
Isn't he like 6'5" or something?
Well, that's what the Glover show said.
Well, good for you, Big Blonde Dan.
314 says, but let me go back. That is a real thing, though. I do think that is a midlife crisis because your body does change and your metabolism changes, your habits change, and you realize I have to be way more deliberate to stay fit or lose weight or to maintain my weight than I did when I was 25. Like I always joke with running that, I'm not great. I wasn't great before with recovery and stretching and all of that. You can be stupid in your 20s. You can be stupid in your 30s. You can't be stupid in your 40s. When you're stupid in your 40s, you get hurt or you get sick.
That's Amy Marks Kors. I'm Chris Ranji. Go ahead and tell us about your crisis that you're going through now.
Stuff.
Amy says she has a midlife crisis. I think you're just in a crisis.
Maybe I'm a walking crisis. I think Matt thinks I'm a walking crisis. You said I had an aura of chaos.
I think one time you lost your keys or you got locked out of your apartment. I said you manifested chaos.
That's so mean. Obviously, I haven't forgotten it.
Yeah.
Well, Matt had an incident yesterday.
Oh, boy.
Matt pulled a me. We'll tell you about that when we come back on KMOX.
Hey, it's Debbie Monterey, and I think right now we all need something to look forward to, and a nice little getaway is going to do it for me. So I've been looking at this 5-day Arizona trip that I planned in September. .net. That's travelwithdebbie.net or call Cruise and Tour.
$44.44. Why pay more than $2? You can also listen to my podcast on my website, straightrealty.com.
Commissions are not regulated and are negotiable. Straight Realty is a licensed broker in the state of Missouri.
St. Louis has a voice.
KMOX, the voice of St. Louis.
That voice has shared our stories from headline to history. From moment to memory.
President George Bush is on his way to St. Louis right now.
Among those voices, Ron Jacober.
Welcome back to the voice of the Cardinals, KMOX.
Working at KMOX is an honor and a responsibility to represent this community. It's one we take seriously. KMOX, the voice of St. Louis.
Glover here for my friends at Cantor Injury Law. Cantor is local, and we're here doing the work every day. We're right here in St. Louis, and we're ready to fight for you. CantorInjuryLaw.com or call 314-628-9999.
The choice of a lawyer is an important decision and should not be solely based on advertisements.
Hey guys, Glover here with my friends at Michael's Baths. Were you feeling a little embarrassed when the family came to visit for the holidays and all you could think about was your bathroom not quite being up to par? Now is the perfect time to plan ahead for a spring installation of a beautiful new bathroom. At Michael's Baths, we specialize in beautiful, safe bathroom remodels from tub to shower conversions to full renovations, including paint and electrical work. Call 636-775-0800 or go to michaelsbaths.com. Mike because a great guy does great work. That's michaelsbaths.com.
Race car drivers like NASCAR champion Jesse Love are a lot like commercial drivers, pros, but even the best watch the tape to see what they missed and get better next time. The Samsara driving coach does the same for your fleet, giving drivers real-time feedback to build safer habits. Samsara's AI uses billions of miles of real driving data to help fleets prevent accidents and protect drivers.
If it makes me a better driver, it'll make your fleet unstoppable.
Because even champions need a coach. Learn more at samsara.com.
100 years, one legendary voice. We live KMOX's century of service, classic audio, photos, videos, and more at KMOX100.com.
So one time I was in public, and actually it happened recently again.
Yeah.
It happened when I was in college, where I taught an entire class with my fly open. Didn't know I did it until after the class. And then it happened again when I met the lady friends, work friends, for the first time. And they were all sitting at the table when I walked up, and I was out there,
You
baby.
were out there, Jerry.
I was out there and loving every minute of
And
it.
you did not know if anyone knew. So thankfully, your lady friend texted everybody and said, hey, did you see that Ranja's fly was open?
Yeah, I didn't tell her to do that, but she did a poll with the friends like, hey, did you notice that my boyfriend showed up with his fly open?
Yeah.
Well, don't tell him. And
I'm
they
glad
all
she did.
they all said no, no, that they didn't. But like, you don't have to make them aware of something they weren't aware of. But anyway,
I'm glad she did it.
I have rubbed off on our friend Matt Pajeski.
Yeah, it caught me last night. So last night I go to church for an Ash Wednesday service, and there's also a chili cook-off beforehand in the gymnasium. So I don't know, there's 100 or so
You
people
didn't put
there.
it in the chili, did you?
I don't know. I would have noticed. Would have been a little hot, you know.
Wow.
Anyways, so I'm walking around tasting chili. You get little sample cups from everybody, talking to people, having a good time. I'm with my family, talking to the old people, the old listeners of KMOX.
I love it. I love it.
They love talking about KMOX with me. So have a nice chili dinner, go to church, get the ashes spread on your forehead. So you have to walk up to the front of the sanctuary there, get the ashes, you walk back to your seat. When I walk back to my seat, I look down and I'm open. I'm out there.
Was it where the zippers are kind of like close together so it's straight up and down, or was the zipper a little gapey?
It was a little gapey. I'll tell you what, I had my shirt tucked in. I saw the shirt.
That means other people saw it.
Yeah. And I went up, I walked down the aisle to the sanctuary, walked back to my seat, walked by a lot of people. I'm thinking I may have made a
And you know what else?
scene. Yeah.
If you're walking down the pews, their eyes are at the right level
That's
to
exactly
be
right.
pretty
Eye
close
level.
to where
It's right there.
Yeah.
Same with the chili. When they're dipping the chili, I mean, it's like, it's at that level.
Oh, buddy. Well, you know what? The Lord's seen it. So
I know.
it's not like, it's just the people who were in the congregation, they saw it.
I don't want anybody to see it.
So now, do you think
So
they've
the good
been
news
wondering?
is that you could see your shirt.
Yeah. I know. I'm not worried that anybody saw anything, but it's just the fact that it was there. It's just so embarrassing, Like when you did it, Ron's like nothing's falling out, but you're just embarrassed by the sight of it.
Yeah, because you look disheveled. You look disheveled. You just look like, oh, the guy doesn't care about anything.
And when I noticed it, I'm like, I haven't used the restroom in a while, so it's not like, oh, I was gone 5 minutes ago. I used the restroom. I forgot to zip it. Like,
yeah,
I think
It was out there for a while.
I think it was a while.
I taught a whole class like that
Yeah.
to college freshmen. Mm-hmm.
How often does this happen to you, gentlemen?
Well, it's happened to me. It happens.
Sorry.
Do you want to know, Amy, what I think one of my best qualities as a person is? And I think
Yes.
I think it actually makes me.
Yeah.
I don't want to say it's heroic, but it's not heroic.
Okay.
If I see anybody with their fly open,
Yeah.
and even if it is a complete stranger,
Yeah.
I will quietly tell them.
See that I do think
I
that
won't-
is a heroic.
I won't just let it go. I like to say, "Hey, you're a little, you're," I give them a little
Yeah.
thing that I know it's there, and I'm helping them.
See that is
I am
very
saving
kind.
them from real embarrassment.
I do that with bugs. I will always tell someone if they've got a bug. I did that. We were at a big event. And there
Even
was-
strangers.
Oh yeah, I was a CEO and I had just met this person. And I know that this person was shaking hands all night.
Mm.
And And I went over and we had just met. I went, oh, and I kind of like said, did the finger like, hey, come over here. And I said, I didn't say you have a bug, but I go, like, you have something in your nose. And this person was so embarrassed, but so grateful and said, you know what? I've gone all night and no one has told me. That's so embarrassing. Thank you for being a real one.
Let me tell you something. What you did is the thing that I do too. And I will do this, especially if it is a prominent person.
Yeah.
Do you know why? Because now you have something
Now
over
you can
them.
have something over. Yeah.
Because they will always look at you and they'll know that person saw me with a booger in my nose.
Yeah.
And so I am embarrassed around them. Like they are uncomfortable around you. You now have status.
Power.
You have status over the CEO
Wow.
because you saw the booger in his nose.
Amy, you said you kind of gesture towards your own nose.
Yeah.
You know, Ranji, do you then gesture at your own?
I do.
Hey, buddy. Hey,
I
look
give
at
it a
this.
little. I do a little point with the finger. I'm like, hey,
That might
you
give
got
the
a
wrong
little-
impression of somebody.
You got a little. So if you're looking on the stream. That's what I.
Oh
what I
my
do. I
gosh,
give it a
don't
little-
do that.
No, it's not. It's
Don't
not.
do that. Oh my God.
What do you mean? There was nothing wrong with it. It was a little. Hey, I'm pointing down there, so you know.
We don't have time. And I have a question.
What's the question?
When you guys go, do you unbutton
That's a
or
whole
do
other-
you just unzip? And we can get into this later because I
We don't
can
have time
see
for
how
this
if you
conversation.
unbutton, you might button back up. But if you only unzip, how are you forgetting the one step?
Leave me alone. Leave me alone. So the White House is looking to repeal a thing called the endangerment finding, which is the thing that determines if climate pollution is a threat to people. And they also want to do away with vehicle emissions standards. So we're going to talk to a former White House climate science advisor, Phil Duffy. He'll give us his thoughts when we come back on KMOX. And would you like to know why betting the Winter Games on FanDuel makes sense? Well, number one, it's a lot of fun, and it gives you a way to stay in on the action, stay connected, even though football has been over for a few weeks. NBA is still going on, but the Winter Games is something that's just a little bit different. You can bet game lines like in hockey, the medal counts, like which country you think is going to have the most medals overall or the most gold medals, and even the events that you like the most. Are you into bobsled or speed skating or figure skating, any of these others that go on during the Winter Games? There is no better way to follow along than with a bet on FanDuel, even curling matches. Those are always a lot of fun. To get started, all you have to do is go to FanDuel.com/Missouri. And if you have not signed up yet, do it now. FanDuel.com/Missouri. The app is awesome. It is very easy to use. It is intuitive and it is secure. FanDuel, play your game. Must be 21 or over and present in Missouri. Gambling problem? Call 1-800-GAMBLER.
Start your day with an edge.
Total Information AM.
It's like breakfast for your brain. I wake up, I turn on the news.
I gotta listen 3 or 4 times every day.
Debbie Monterey, Megan Lynch, Tom Ackerman.
I like to wake up with the news.
Total Information AM.
It's where I get my news. Traffic conditions and potential weather that's coming.
Total Information AM. Weekdays 5 to 9.
I like to turn it on and just get caught up.
Where I get my news. The news, weather, and traffic.
On the voice of St. Louis, KMOX. Now, KMOX weather from the Saliga Heating and Cooling Weather Desk.
Currently, it is 61 degrees. It looks a lot cloudier, and the sky is a bit darker now. And that's because some thunderstorms could be rolling in, could bring hail and damaging winds, so watch out. A high of 68 today. Tonight, mainly clear, breezy, and colder, a low of 34.
Do you owe $10,000 or more in credit card debt or personal loans? With credit card debt at all-time highs, Debt Relief Advocates is urgently notifying consumers of debt relief now being made available, designed to aid consumers with out-of-control credit card debt. Those who qualify and enroll for this relief program may only have to pay back a fraction of what they owe. This is not bankruptcy or a debt consolidation loan. This is a relief program that credit card companies would rather you not know about, as it could end your debt nightmare and save you lots of money. Consumers owing at least $10,000 in credit card debt or personal loans can now take advantage of this debt relief as the cost of living skyrockets. For free information and to learn what debt reduction you may qualify for, simply go online and visit DRA.com or call 800-535-1582. 800-535-1582. Again, that's 800-535-1582.
How many of you think taxes will go up in the future? And if they do, who will get hit the hardest? Maybe it's you, headed for retirement. You've been saving in that 401k or IRA, and that money has never been taxed. And Uncle Sam is looking at that account like it's a big, juicy steak. What can you do about it? Join the All Financial Group for their Taxes in Retirement Seminar, Thursday, February 19th or Tuesday, February 24th. They believe a financial plan is not a retirement plan without a tax plan. Fund your retirement, not Uncle Sam's. Reserve your spot today by calling 636-230-8824. That's 636-230-8824. Or go to yourmoneymattersstl.com. Investment advisory products and services made available through Impact Partnership Wealth, LLC, IPW, a registered investment advisor. Neither the firm nor its agents or representatives may give tax or legal advice. Individuals should consult a qualified professional for guidance before making any purchasing decisions.
Renewal by Andersen is the #1 window and door brand for customer service. Schedule your free inspection today. Call 877-WINDOWS. That's 877-WINDOWS. Or head to rbastl.com.
From Roger Dean Stadium in Jupiter, Florida, it's Cardinals spring training baseball play Saturday as they face the Washington Nationals. Pregame 11:55, first pitch 12:05 on your voice of the St. Louis Cardinals, KMOX.
Chris Ranji, Amy Mark scores with you on a Thursday. Well, over the past couple of days, a lot of discussion around the Trump administration erasing a bedrock finding that greenhouse gases are a threat to human life and well-being, which means the EPA could no longer regulate things like greenhouse gases. So to shed some light on this situation is Phil Duffy, former White House climate science advisor and chief scientist at Spark Climate Solution. Phil, thank you so much for joining us.
Thanks for having me.
So I guess first and foremost, kind of setting the table, when I see the headline that the EPA is close to eliminating the endangerment findings, what does that mean? And how do you eliminate an endangerment finding? Are you just saying, hey, we don't want this data anymore, or they don't believe it's true?
Well, they've decreed that the endangerment finding no longer applies. And just for some context, the endangerment finding was a scientific finding by EPA back in 2009, which said that the accumulation of greenhouse gases in the atmosphere due to fossil fuel burning and so forth, in the words of the Clean Air Act, may reasonably be anticipated to endanger the public health or welfare. Now, that was in 2009. Since 2009, of course, we've seen the effects of greenhouse gas emissions on the public health and welfare in the form of extreme weather events, sea level rise, and so on. And folks in the Midwest have experienced some of that in the form of more extreme precipitation, more flooding events, more tornadoes, and so forth. But this EPA is arguing that, well, they've repealed the endangerment finding. They're arguing on legal grounds that the EPA has no authority to do anything about greenhouse gas emissions.
So why are they arguing that, or what? How are they making that argument?
Well, they are decreeing that the Clean Air Act does not apply to greenhouse gas emissions. Now, that's interesting because in 2007, the Supreme Court said the exact opposite. The Supreme Court issued a finding in a case called Massachusetts versus EPA, explicitly saying that the Clean Air Act does apply to greenhouse gas emissions as well as to criteria pollutants. And EPA is now saying that that's a misreading of the statute. It's a misreading of the Clean Air Act.
You know, I feel a little confused because, as you said, the endangerment finding was 2009. Is that correct?
Mm-hmm. That's right.
But I remember, like, back in kindergarten and first grade and second grade, back in the 80s and early 90s, we learned about greenhouse gases and acid rain and the ozone layer. And so were greenhouse gases, weren't they already deemed dangerous?
The scientific community made its first authoritative assessment of the dangers of greenhouse gases in 1995 in one of the landmark reports of a body called Intergovernmental Panel on Climate Change, which is it's convened by the United Nations. It's a group of scientists from around the world. And in 1995, this so-called IPCC made its first statement that human greenhouse gas emissions were influencing climate. So the scientific community has known that this is a problem for at least 30 years. And I should say that those UN reports tend to be somewhat behind the actual state of the science because they want to be very careful and because they're based on things that have been published already in the past. So they tend to be a little bit behind the actual state-of-the-art science. So we've known this is a problem for more than 30 years.
And so with this being a problem and with, the science telling us that it is an issue, you mentioned a lot of effects on climate. What are the effects on, like, say, the respiratory system, for people? Are there still problems like that are a result of this?
Well, the greenhouse gas emissions do have health impacts. Extreme heat and deadly combinations of heat and humidity are one of them. More vector-borne diseases, the growth, for example, of tick-borne illness like Lyme disease is attributed to climate change. It's also true that many of the sources which emit greenhouse gases, like power plants, like automobiles, also emit other pollutants, particulate pollutants, so-called PM 2.5, which is very, very, very deadly. And even now, tens of thousands of Americans die prematurely every year from the effects of particulate pollution associated with fossil fuel use. So there would be direct, immediate human health benefits to cleanup of particulate, to reducing greenhouse gas emissions, to reducing the use of fossil fuels.
You mentioned fossil fuels, but also the science, and I'd like to know how this works, but the science says or suggests that it actually makes gas prices go up whenever there is an environmental impact based on climate change. Is that true?
Well, not necessarily. And, analysis of regulations on vehicle emissions do show that more fuel efficient vehicles and part of what's going on with EPA is they're announcing not only repeal of endangerment finding, but also repeal of regulations on greenhouse gas emissions from vehicles. Analyses show that the lifetime operating cost of more fuel efficient vehicles is lower, obviously because they're consuming less gasoline, and that can outweigh any added cost of the initial cost, purchase cost of the more fuel efficient vehicles. So more fuel efficient vehicles can be cheaper. They also do emit less particulates and so forth, and so more fuel efficient vehicles, using more fuel efficient vehicles can have immediate public health benefits, which can be very, very significant.
I know a lot of times when we talk about climate change, we talk about big global phenomenon like, the icebergs melting and that sort of thing. But I also know, with pollution, and I'm not sure if that's greenhouse gases or not, but with pollution, it can also be very localized. Two of my really close friends are from Peru and India, respectively. And they talk about, well, they can run in St. Louis, but they can't run in their town in Peru, or they can't run in their town in India because the pollution is so bad.
Yeah.
How do we have the discussion about localized pollution? Is that what this is? Like we're talking about where San Francisco or New York could get really bad?
Well, again, a lot of the same sources that emit greenhouse gases do emit this localized pollution. As you were relating this, I thought you were going to say your friend in India can't run because it's too hot and humid. We have seen for the first time in the history that we know well, in the history of meteorological observations, we've seen for the first time in South Asia combinations of heat and humidity which are simply not compatible with human life. That is, it's so hot and so humid that a healthy human sitting in the shade can't survive more than a few hours, and we've not seen that before.
One more thing about this, at least from me, and one of the criticisms you will hear from people who either don't believe in climate change or believe that it is real, but don't really think we have anything or any sort of effect on it, that we are not making this happen, that the planet goes in cycles. What do you say to them?
There's no question that the recent warming of the planet, which has been substantial, there's no question that it's driven by human greenhouse gas emissions. The science is quite clear on that. So there is a strong human role, and it's also true that we have in hand not all the solutions we need, but a lot of the solutions we need. And it seems, it's in my view unfortunate that we're having a discussion about whether or not to regulate vehicle greenhouse gas emissions when we have perfectly good non-emitting solutions in the form of electric vehicles. In my personal view, I would much rather see a forward-looking policy incentivizing the development and adoption of electric vehicles. And good electric vehicles are really great. They're very cheap to operate. They're very fast. They're very clean. And clearly, electric vehicles are the future. And it would be great to see our national government pushing us forward towards that future rather than pushing back towards a dirtier past.
I said that was the last question, but you prompted another, because there are critics of electric vehicles who say, well, just mining the cobalt to make the batteries and all of this, that's worse than, or just as bad as what's going on. Is that true or not true?
No, it's not true. No technology has zero impact on the environment, but electric vehicles, especially if the electricity you're using to charge them is generated from renewable energies, electric vehicles have much, much less environmental impact than gasoline vehicles.
Dr. Phil Duffy, former White House climate science advisor and chief scientist at Spark Climate Solutions. We appreciate your time. Thank you for being with us.
Well, thank you so much for having me.
That's Amy Marks Kors. I'm Chris Ranji. Remember when we told you we had tickets to see Santana and the Doobie Brothers together?
I do remember that.
June 20th
Yeah.
at Hollywood Casino Amphitheater. This is your opportunity, and we need caller number 7 to the contest line at 314-955-1120. That is 955-1120, 314. And we wish you the best of luck in winning those tickets, and we appreciate Live Nation for supplying those tickets to us to give to you.
That's the doobie doobie doo.
It's this song playing right here.
It's a good song.
This isn't that song. Is this Doobie Brothers? Yeah. Why'd you tell me no? Or you were shaking your head at her?
It wasn't the song that Amy was singing, which is not even a Doobie Brothers song.
No, it's not.
You know the Doobie Brothers? Their last name is not Doobie.
Amy Marks Coors, Chris Ranji. The Gas House Gang is coming up at 12 o'clock. Bernie Miklasz and me on KMOX.
Barnes Jewish Hospital and WashU Medicine physicians have long been leaders in heart and vascular care. Now, we're taking the patient experience to another level by opening our new state-of-the-art patient tower, designed specifically with heart patients in mind. By combining the latest technology with thoughtful design and private rooms, heart patients can experience faster healing, reduced stress, and improved outcomes. Learn more at barnesjewish.org/heart.
I'm John Morgan of Morgan & Morgan. Our firm handles hundreds of crash cases involving semi-trucks every year. A crash case involving semis is much different, and if you don't know what you're doing, you can leave lots of money on the table. Many times there is separate insurance for the cab and for the trailer. Sometimes there are actually layers of other insurances and excess insurance that some lawyers may not know about because they don't see that many cases. We see these cases every day. Also, there are federal laws governing the hours a driver may drive in a 24-hour period and logs that are required. A crash case involving a semi-truck is a totally different animal than a simple car crash. We have lawyers who only handle these cases. It's all they do. Rolling the dice with the wrong law firm can be disastrous. Call us on your cell phone at Pound Law, pound 529. It's so easy. Injured? Dial Pound Law or visit forthepeople.com for an office near you.
Every spring brings promises, and every spring delivers surprises. This year, the Cardinals are writing a new story, and there will be plenty of surprises. Matt Pauley is in Jupiter with inside access to Camp Cardinals.
Presented by St. Louis Composting. Composting, growing gardens and making memories. And Happy Roof. We always create happy endings.
From breakout performances to roster revelations, get reports throughout the day on the voice of the Cardinals. KMOX.
This is the story of the one. As an HVAC technician, he and his digital multimeter are in high demand. So when a noisy office HVAC turns out to be a failing blower motor, he doesn't break a sweat. With Grainger's easy-to-use website and product information, he selects the product he needs to keep everything humming right along. Call 1-800-GRAINGER, click Grainger.com, or just stop by. Grainger, for the ones who get it done.
With the new IHOP value menu, $6 is all it takes to go to your happy place, where stacks of pancakes with bacon and eggs are just $6 every day. French toast, sausage, and eggs are, you guessed it, $6. And fluffy omelets come with a side of pancakes and only cost $6. Go to your happy place every day at IHOP. $7 in some locations. Available every day for a limited time at participating restaurants in the U.S. Hours may vary. No substitutions. Not valid with other discounts or promotions. Prices may vary.
For 100 years, KMOX has been a part of St. Louis. Now, those moments live on, preserved, remastered, and ready to be heard again. Discover KMOX from the Archives, a podcast featuring classic audio from a century of service.
Sponsored by Overhead Door Company of St. Louis, the genuine, the original.
The KMOX from the Archives podcast, available now at KMOX100.com or wherever you get your podcasts.
Taking care of your health should be simple. And with the Neovitin monthly subscription, it finally is. Choose your doctor-formulated multivitamin and we'll deliver it straight to your door every month. No more running out, no more remembering to reorder, just consistent nutrition made easy. Plus, subscribers save 10% every month and can pause or cancel at any time. Visit neovitin.com and start your subscription today. Neovitin, trusted nutrition every day.
You still got it, but your immune system weakens as you age, making it harder to fight flu, pneumococcal pneumonia, RSV, and COVID-19. Ask your doctor or pharmacist which vaccines you need. Sponsored by Pfizer.
Wish your life came with a warning app?
That dog does not want to be petted.
Well, life doesn't always give you time to change the outcome, but prediabetes does. Take the 1-minute test today at doihaveprediabetes.org. Brought to you by the Ad Council and its Prediabetes Awareness Partners.
The Chris and Amy Show on 104.1 FM, KMOX.
Congratulations, Christy from Town and Country. Christy is going to go see Santana and the Doobie Brothers June 20th at Hollywood Casino Amphitheater. There is still one more opportunity to win tickets for that show. It will be tomorrow between 9 and noon. That's this show, the Chris and Amy Show on 104.1 FM KMOX.
And tomorrow's Friday, and Friday means Hancock and Kelly.
Yeah, they'll start the show with us at 9. They're with us
fun.
for the first hour.
Matthew went to church yesterday, and he had a chili cook-off at the church, and then Ash Wednesday walked up to the front.
And his little thing was hanging out because he forgot to zip his
It
pants.
wasn't hanging out. Don't say that. We can't say that.
They
Yes, you
listen to
can.
the show. My church ladies listen.
Well, church ladies, your cute little Matt.
If you noticed, 314-436-7900. And, oh, here we go. I lost the one about Matt.
Oh, man. Great job, Amy.
Wait.
Okay, this is riveting.
You
Just
do something.
absolutely riveting.
You do something.
Oh, my gosh.
Our text line refreshed on me. Oh, hey, Matt. I don't want to read this one. You read it.
I don't know which one you're talking about.
About the chili.
I don't know where it is. Oh, yeah. Okay, I know the one you're talking about.
can
This
we read
texter says, "Hey, Matt, did anyone ask if you wanted any chili on that dog?" Because you were at a chili.
I got it.
Yeah. And your fly was open.
Yeah.
You need to get it together, pal.
That was bad.
You've absolutely got to get your stuff together. You can't be walking around church like that.
It was an accident.
With your pants open. Can't do that. Hey, coming up on the Gas House Gang today, let me just remind you that we've got Ricky Prohl, head coach of the Battlehawks. He's joining us. Matt Pauley will join us from spring training. And we expect, and things could change because, guys are working out and they're doing stuff in spring training. We expect to have a conversation with starter Matthew Liberatore.
Very
He
cool.
is going to join the show. Scheduled to, anyway.
So we were also talking about midlife crises and do people buy red cars anymore? And Ron said no, that was in the 80s. Apparently people buy Legos now. However, we do have a texter, a 314 says, "Hey, Ron and Amy, I bought a big ass red truck."
Hey, well, okay, you want to be seen. I don't like the big red. I don't like red cars. I've driven one.
You've had a red car
I don't like. I
for
didn't
a
like it.
long time.
I know. I didn't like it.
Like the whole time I knew you until you were in the one car
And I'm
accident.
telling you, I
had
didn't-
a red. Is that why you crashed your own car?
Yeah, that was. I figured this is the best way to do it.
See,
Just crash
it all
my own
makes
car.
sense now. Ranj was in a one car accident. Yeah, he was in an accident with himself.
Yeah, I said, okay, that's enough of this.
And he crashed his little red car into the median.
I could have been hurt.
That shows you how much he hates red.
Yeah, I didn't like red, but yeah, that was more of an inconvenience than anything else. I just thought, I don't care for red cars.
Okay. Guess what? Remember how when we were talking about zippers being open a while ago, and one woman said she always tells her husband XYZ, and we said, well, what's that? And I said, it must be a code. It's a code, XYZ. That's their code. No, we have a texter, 314. XYZ stands for examine your zipper. XYZ.
Oh.
Ah.
I didn't know that. Well, how about that?
I
Hey,
wish somebody told me a little XYZ yesterday.
I know.
Yeah,
I
there-
can't believe they didn't.
You know what that means? Nobody at your church cares about you.
Well, here's what I
Nobody
said.
saw it.
I did tell
Hopefully.
Matt this. Of all the days to forget to zip up,
Mhm.
all the days to have your zipper open, Ash Wednesday is probably one of the best because you do have ashes on your forehead.
Yeah, they're looking elsewhere.
So the eyes are going up immediately.
Yeah, not down.
Well, this here's a text message, Amy.
Yeah.
It says, you guys could perform a very valuable public service and also enhance your rating if you would do some segments on quality products. Listeners all over are searching for quality products. Chris and Amy could become legendary by facilitating that search.
Like the QVC network.
And
Like commercials?
and you don't even have to give me a fee for the idea. Well,
That sounds like a bad idea.
It sounds like a
what are you
commercial.
talking about? We gave you a great idea about what you could do with your time if you're in your midlife crisis. Buy Legos.
Yeah.
Assemble Legos. That's a great product.
I think we need to play with them ourselves and review them and provide, reviews for our listeners. That's what they're wanting.
Oh, Yeah, that's not a bad idea. So somebody would have to buy those products for us.
Matt, you had your fly open?
Yeah.
A 636 says, poor Matt went to church, left a criminal.
You're not a criminal because you accidentally had your little thing hanging out.
Come on.
It was an accident. You didn't know. But church is not a good place to do it.
No.
I mean, there are worse places to do it.
Thinking that too.
Yeah. So
I think, you know what? None of the old ladies told you.
Yeah.
And I say that I'm an old lady.
if you missed anything on the show, I'll tell you where to find it on the Odyssey app or the iHeart app or wherever you get your podcast. But just come back tomorrow and listen to us live starting at 9 o'clock. It'll be Chris and Amy with Hancock and Kelly to start the show. We love you. The Gas House Gang, Bernie Miklasz and me, Chris Ranji, next on KMOX. Listen to me. I do not care. I don't care.
Time now for today's Spotlight on Money, sponsored by Ethos.
Your kids will learn lifelong lessons from youth sports and activities, but it should not come at the expense of your financial well-being.
Don't sacrifice your